can do that job well tonight, they're going to go and win this game.
From one safety to another, hey, Steve Young, Sean Taylor can hit with anybody. He's also a bit of a freelancer. How can he be in control with intensity?
I think what he's got this year is LaRon Landry's come in as a rookie who's going to play that fifth linebacker. You come with two backs in the backfield, the Eagles do. They're going to have LaRon Landry down on the line of scrimmage, and Sean Taylor can now play free safety. He can roam the whole field. And what the Eagles will try to do is get him to suck up on play action and throw behind him and get him to be over-aggressive. But you got two of the best safeties, young safety in LaRon Landry and Sean Taylor in the league.
All right, Steve, Javon Curse, we all saw what he did as a young man at Tennessee, but with the Eagles, due to injuries, Tom, he's rarely been able to flash that almost superhuman form.
Well, you know, when he came into the league, he was known as the freak, Boom, and it was all about the speed and the first step rush and his ability to run. And as you play this game and you go through the years, I always say you age in dog years. You know, that's what's happened to Javon Curse. He slowed down some by his own admittance, and I've always thought that he would benefit from a second move off that speed rush. Now, right now, I think as you slow down, you've got to do that. You've got to find something off that speed rush, and he better do it now.
Javon, first I look at the Curse. Jay Giles Band. Just minutes to go before kickoff of the nation's first capital, Philadelphia. Our picks are coming up. Then Monday Night Football.
City of Philly. It's the sound of Philadelphia. Come along with me. Hear my city speak. It's talking to you. It's giving you a heads up.
Okay, delivery intercept. Well, say you just shipped the package to New York and it's on its way. When your customer calls and says, hey, I gotta run down to DC for a few days. Well, now what? Well, what if you could intercept the package and have it sent back? Or better yet, reroute it to DC. Well, you'd have those options if you shipped with UPS. It's not just delivery, it's UPS Delivery Intercept. Oh, good. Cherry blossoms are out.
What's behind the grill is what matters most. GMC Sierra. We are professional grade.
Remember that Monday when Dennis Smith laid that hit on Gary Clark and the whole bar just went quiet? Until you screamed, hit me with your best shot, and we all laughed because that song was still kind of popular? And remember how unfunny it was when you yelled it after every hit? And how really unfunny it was when you yelled it after that fair catch? Remember that? Well, tonight, when Santana Moss and the Redskins battle Donovan McNabb and the Eagles, don't do that.
Attention football fans, gear up for the season like never before with this NFL Performer Jacket with the logo of your favorite team free. Plus this NFL collectible football free. That's right, get this Team Choice NFL Jacket free when you order 56 issues of Sports Illustrated at only $1.59 each. Save 65% off the cover price. Use your credit card and get this NFL football also free. As a special bonus, order at sioffer.com and get this SI gym bag also free. With SI, you'll get the sharpest NFL insights and analysis, spectacular photos, and coverage of all your favorite sports. The SI Fantasy Football section, the must-have preview issues, and the sizzling hot swimsuit issue. And this Team Choice NFL Performer Jacket free. Use your credit card and get this NFL football also free. And if you order at sioffer.com, get this SI gym bag also free.
Call 1-800-284-9400 now. Call 1-800-284-9400 or visit sioffer.com.
What's behind the grill is what matters most. Washington versus Philadelphia. Visit gmc.com/NFL and decide who wants it more and enter for your chance to win tickets to the Super Bowl and the Ultimate Trophy, an Acadia, a Sierra Denali, and a Yukon Denali. GMC, we are professional grade.
Monday Night Countdown. Delivered by UPS. What can Brown do for you?
Are you willing to fight, scratch, punch, kick, tackle, pass, run, and get that dream, baby? Get back on track. I can't think of a better stage to do it than tonight, baby. Dominate on 3. 1, 2, 3. Dominate!
William Thomas firing up the Eagles. And there's those that got the game right last week. And then there's a good list that didn't get the game. Our first game right last week. Some of us had Cincy, some of us had Baltimore. All right, there's our lead. We got a long way to go. What do we like tonight, Tom?
I like the Washington Redskins. I think that Coach Gibbs has finally put a team in place that's his team, that he likes. Going to be hard to beat. Washington Redskins. Coach?
I'm going to take the Palantonios tonight at home, okay? Since he's down there as the 12th man, I believe I'll take the Eagles at home. Key?
I'm going to go with the Philadelphia Eagles and their crazy fans.
That's a good pick. I like that.
I see it tonight, 27-16 Philadelphia. They got a young receiver, Jason. You can't always get what you want. I like him going deep against the safeties. That's just a guess. Steve? Back to the stadium. Who do you like?
That was bad.
Yeah, I get a feeling that the Eagles know that this is a little bit of a risky spot for them, and they smell blood in the division. I say the Eagles have. They always do in the regular season, come out and play great football. They're going to win tonight.
I say the Eagles will win tonight also. I'm going with defense with Brian Dawkins and Wolverine. I'm also going with Brian Westbrook having a big night tonight.
Donovan coming off an injury. The Eagles drafted a QB. Donovan's got a boulder, not a chip, but a boulder on his shoulder. The 5-time Pro Bowler has something to prove. TJ, you're by yourself. I'm saying Eagles.
Well, I tell you what, Tom, you're all on the Eagles. Now, this is new now. I know we're getting close to election day. We're going to look at the states, the red and the blue states. Always keep your eye on Iowa and New Hampshire in these things. But even they, all our states. Hey, McGovern won one, guys. All 50 states look like they're pulling for.
Oh, that's it?
There it is. Even Hawaii, Tom. There it is.
Put the District of Columbia on there.
But you know what? I know. You know what island you're on for this? Guam. They went with the Redskins. Guam.
Everybody.
If you win this game.
That was it. The whole country.
If you win this game, though, you're going to run for some political office because you're going to look like a genius.
Mm-hmm. Running the ball against Philly, I mean, can be done, right?
Yeah, sure.
Donovan McNabb, big game tonight. What do you think? I think a big game.
You better have.
I think he'll show up in his stadium. It's his stadium.
I think a big game tonight. We will see what halftime. Hope you enjoyed this edition of Monday Night Countdown. For our cast of thousands, I'm Chris Berman. A crisp, cool night in Philly. See you green inside the lake. Monday Night Football.
Monday night.
On a perfect night in Philadelphia, the home opener for the Eagles. They welcome the rival Redskins to wrap up week 2 of the 2007 NFL season. Mike Tirico. Welcome to Monday Night Football. The NFC East, top to bottom, it's probably the most attractive division in all of sports. If you think about it, the franchises, the city, the passion of the people involved. When it's the Cowboys, the Giants, the Eagles, the Redskins, anytime two of those teams intersect, usually have pretty good stuff coming through your TV. These teams are out of the division for the opening week of the season. Philadelphia losing because of their special teams in overtime at Green Bay, or in regulation, I should say, at Green Bay. Washington was the overtime team, and they won at home against Miami. They bring in Tony Kornheiser and Ron Jaworski to talk about these two teams that you're both very familiar with. And I want to start with Philly. Donovan McNabb, their quarterback, 10 months removed, Ron, from the knee injury and the surgery. Usually you say, well, you can ease back in. Not when you're the quarterback of the Eagles, as you well know.
Mike, this is Philadelphia. This is the what have you done lately city. Donovan McNabb did not play well last week in Green Bay. He really is the bedrock of this Eagles offense. This is an offense that is fueled by the passing game. Donovan McNabb must play well for this Eagle football team to win. However, he's going to need some help from his wide receivers. They struggled a week ago getting off the bump and run coverage. I believe in this game, you'll see a lot of that shotgun formation that Andy Reid likes to use offensively, and you'll see Donovan attacking down the field.
All right, what'd you see when you watched Washington and their win over Miami? Something you've seen before, I guess.
It was back to the future. It was like when I played against the Redskins. I mean, it was that in-your-face style of offense. Two tight end, two running back, establish the line of scrimmage. And on the defensive side of the football, Mike, it was that bend and break, that style of defense. Not like Greg Williams has deployed the last couple years where it was very aggressive. So, yeah, it really is back to the future for the Redskins.
Hey, Tony, Joe Gibbs and you both been around Washington for over a quarter century now.
I think I covered Joe Gibbs when he was in high school. Look, it is understandable that Jaws over here would be in the tank for the Eagles after playing here, though the face painting is a little much, Jaws. I live in Washington, a town much more obsessed with the Redskins than even politics. And after writing about them in the Washington Post for nearly 30 years, I concede I'm somewhat partial there, and particularly partial to Joe Gibbs. From 1982 through 1991, Gibbs went to 4 Super Bowls and won 3 of them. And Gibbs didn't have Joe Montana or Troy Aikman or John Elway for the full run. He won with 3 different quarterbacks, none of whom is going to the Hall of Fame. So how great a coaching job was that? Well, great enough to get into Canton, obviously. Gibbs hasn't done nearly as well in his second term with the Redskins. His record now is 22-27, and his offense, which got him to Canton, sputters more than it starts. In another city, maybe, Gibbs would be on a rotisserie, and people would be calling for his scalp. But in the capital of the United States, nobody will do that. We in Washington don't blame this on Joe Gibbs. We would sooner blame the owner, the players, or the Bush administration, whoever's handy. We in Washington think the cherry blossoms should be a carpet under Joe Gibbs's feet. Joe Gibbs is to Washington what Rocky Balboa is to Philly, except he's real. Take that, Jaws.
You got a problem with that? Well, they've got some real talent on the field and the backfield tonight for both of these teams. Of course, Donovan McNabb, Jason Campbell is opposite number for the Redskins. Clinton Portis and Brian Westbrook will run it for the Eagles and Skins tonight.
What's behind the grill is what matters most. GMC Sierra. We are professional grade.
This telecast available in high definition on ESPN HD, presented by DLP HD TV Technology. Susie Colbert on the Eagles sideline in a second, but let's begin with Michelle Tafoya. Michelle, we have rare news. It's a mostly nationally anonymous Washington Redskin quarterback.
That it is, Mike. Jason Taylor grew up in Taylorsville, Mississippi. Jason Campbell, rather, grew up in Taylorsville, Mississippi, not far from 2 of his boyhood idols, Brett Favre and Steve McNair. In fact, he attended McNair's football camp when he was a high schooler. He went on to start Auburn, where he led the Tigers to a 13-0 season in 2004 and was named the SEC Offensive Player in the Year. Now, what Joe Gibbs saw in Campbell was a 6'5", 233-pound body with a strong enough arm and high enough character to draft him 25th overall in 2005. And after just 8 NFL starts, the consensus in Washington is that Campbell has the poise and maturity to play in this league, but can he stick in Washington? After all, he's the 17th different starting quarterback the Redskins have had since 1993. Now to Susie with the Eagles.
Well, Michelle, do you know who's gotten the most cheers from the Philly crowd tonight? Reno Mahe, the undrafted free agent who learned how to return punts 5 years ago just so he could stick around. Well, the Eagles still released him at the end of last season, but last Sunday, 2 muff punts led to the Packers' only touchdown and the game-winning field goal, 10 points. Monday, Mahe, back in Utah, got the call from the Eagles. It was 3 p.m. His flight to Philadelphia booked for 7 p.m. Reno's wife threw some clothes in a duffel. Their small children napping didn't even know Dad was flying off. Since then, he's fielded 150 punts a day. But Mike, Mahe knows the score. He's living in a hotel until tomorrow. If all goes well tonight, then he'll look for an apartment.
And Andy Reid will be very happy in the all-tell head-to-head matchup. You have Andy Reid, who's been against the Redskins 16 times with success, against Joe Gibbs, who goes against Philadelphia for the 31st time when Monday Night Football kicks off after this.
What's behind the grill is what matters most. Washington versus Philadelphia. Visit GMC.com/NFL and decide who wants it more and enter for your chance to win tickets to the Super Bowl and the Ultimate Trophy, an Acadia, a Sierra Denali, and a Yukon Denali. GMC, we are professional grade.
Wait! I want to come with you!
No, I'm a loner, an island. And I only fly solo. Except for my network. Because I like to check my emails and watch AC/DC videos and sometimes get GPS directions if I get lost.
Will I ever see you again?
I'll send you a picture message.
America's most reliable wireless network for calls is the network you should rely on for everything. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Why do you step onto the field when you've been through so much? When there's no escape? When all they want to do is take you down? I've been through a lot. Scrutiny, adversity, naysayers, whatever it may be.
I have no desire to talk to Donovan.
People will continue to attack in different angles. What else can I do? I don't believe in pressure. I don't believe in what may be said on the outside. Why do I step out on the field? To prove that I am the best.
And Donovan McNabb excited to return to Lincoln Financial Field here in Philadelphia to start his 9th season with the Eagles. He'll have to wait a moment. The Redskins have won the toss and will receive this great setting in Philadelphia. Rock Cartwright back deep to receive for the Redskins. David Akers set to kick it off. As we mentioned, the Eagles losing in Green Bay, so this is the home opener. And off we go from Philadelphia. And it's Cartwright from the 1. With a nice block from James Thrash, and he's taken out at the 32-yard line by Jaquay Thomas. And Michelle told you about Jason Campbell, the quarterback, and after Mark Brunell started and the Redskins were not successful to begin the 2006 season, they turned it over to Campbell. Did pretty well starting those last 7 games of the season. I know the record was 2-5, Ron, but as last season went on, you kind of got the sense Jason Campbell was an NFL quarterback.
Absolutely, Mike, and a good barometer to rate a young quarterback and evaluate them is touchdowns to interceptions. 10 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions in those 7 starts a year ago.
Santana Moss, James Thrash, Antoine Randall come to the bottom of the screen. As Moss in motion, Quentin Portis, the lone back. And he begins with a run, gets 3 yards to the 35. There's Brian Dawkins putting his nose by the line of scrimmage already. This is a little different now for the Redskins here. They are clearly a 2-back team, even though Portis has the bigger name.
It's different because they used to be known as, say, John Riggins' team or something like that with a 1-back deal. But what's not different is the fact that they're going to run and run and run. And Joe Gibbs get back to smash mouth football in the smash mouth division, right, Joe?
Control the line of scrimmage. That's Joe's philosophy that was so successful when he won 3 Super Bowls.
Sure. The other back is Liddell Betts. We'll see him as the night goes on. Mike Sellers, a punishing fullback, is there on this pass by Campbell deep down the field for Chris Cooley. Out of the hands of the tight end, incomplete, and Chris Cooley was a big attention getter at Eagles practice all week.
How smart do I look when I said they were going to run and run and run and run, Josh?
Well, when you've got an aggressive defense like the Eagles have, you know, you can get the play action pass, and it was a great throw by Jason Campbell. Chris Cooley's got to make this catch.
He's supposed
to catch
that.
This was a long handoff right there.
He's supposed to catch that. So if they pass 3 of the next 3, I'm leaving the booth.
3rd and 6. Cooley's going to be in the slot at the top of your screen in this 4-wide look. Will we see the first bit of Eagle pressure? Nope. Time for Campbell. Moss caught it, got the extra couple of yards in front of William James, the former Will Peterson. First down, and fellow receiver Antoine Randall introduces us to the Washington offense.
Thanks, Mike. Big game tonight. We got Casey Robach. We got Randy right on the right of him. And, of course, protecting the blind side is Chris Samuels. Protecting our young quarterback, who's certainly getting it done. We move to the backs. Clinton Porter is our running back, gets it done for us, of course. And on the outside is me and also the burner, Santana Moss. And you cannot forget Cooley. Here we go.
Antoine Randall right to the top of the lineup chart. Thanks, Mike.
Absolutely.
Auditioning for that color commentary job
for you.
1st and 10. Campbell back to the air. Fakes the throw and gets down for 3 yards. Takeo Spikes with the tackle, and why not Takeo Spikes to introduce us to the rest of the Philadelphia defense.
Okay, up front, the defensive line will bring pressure all night long, led by Javon Curse, a.k.a. the Freak. And alongside me, young second-year stud linebacker out of Charlotte, Omar Gaither. And in the secondary, we have the hit man, better known as Sheldon Brown. And last but not least, Weapon X. We know him as Brian Dawkins.
Spikes came over in a trade from Buffalo. Portis cannot get away from Broderick Bunkley, the first-round pick last year. We'll have 3rd down coming up. Takeo Spikes, whose days in Cincinnati and Buffalo were mostly on losing teams, thus he has not been on Monday Night Football at all or in a playoff game. Nobody's played as many regular season games among active players without being in the postseason, and he was so psyched to finally play on Monday night.
This is when the Eagles' defense is at its best in these 3rd and known passing situations. They love to come with their exotic blitz schemes.
Here they come. Campbell hit as he throws. Moss goes up and hangs on. First down at the 44-yard line. The young quarterback hung in for the gain of 8.
An outstanding job by Jason Campbell. The Eagles did come with their blitz. As you see it to your right, he sets nicely in the pocket. He's got the out cut to the outside and a terrific throw high to the outside. I like this right here. There's pressure in his face. He delivers the football, looks down that gun barrel, and throws the completion. Real nice job right there. Santana Moss going up and catching the football.
Did you say exotic blitz schemes?
Exotic
Did they
blitz
get them
schemes.
from, like, you know, foreign countries, Asia and Africa, and places like that?
Knowing Jim
places?
Johnson, he'll find a blitz anywhere.
Omar Gaither applied the pressure just there a half-second late. And Campbell back to the air on first down for Cooley. Overthrown and incomplete. Why are we going to see Chris Cooley as such a focus guy for the Redskins in their offensive passing tonight?
Well, Chris Cooley's one of those guys that creates matchup problems for a secondary. He can beat a safety. He can beat a linebacker. He's a very versatile guy. And even in the running game, Mike, as I've studied this offense in Washington, he's good enough to block a defensive end. He gives him great versatility. Cooley split to the top of the screen.
Second and 10. Looks like the Eagles were offside as Portis is brought down by Broderick Bunkley. Bill Carollo is our referee tonight.
Offside. Defense, number 93, 5-yard penalty, replay, second down.
There's Javon Curse.
Okay, we've got 4 passes and 3 runs by the Redskins. Jaws, all week you told me old school, old school, old school. Joe Gibbs going to hand the ball off. Well, I bought that from you. I went on television. I said that to try to look smart. Now I look like an idiot.
Well, when you let the game play out, you want instant gratification in your call. Let it play out. You'll see later. They'll get back their
I'm a front runner, Jaws.
Yes,
I'm a front runner.
Todd Yoder is coming in, another tight end. Liddell Betts is in the backfield, spelling Clinton Portis. And they give to the fullback Sellers. Not much for the 280-plus pounder out of Walla Walla Community College.
How many times have you said that in your life?
He's been practicing.
30-plus pounder from Walla Walla.
Walla Walla. So
football power of Washington State, I'm sure.
But he's a great story. And if you watch him tonight, if you want to take some plays off and watching the ball, watch when the fullback's in. He is a punishing blocker. Mike Sellers off the field right now for 3rd and 3. Off the hands of Cooley, covered by Dawkins. 4th down. Here, a field goal will be 56 yards, so they'll punt the ball away.
Yeah, and once again, the Eagles do come with their pressure package on 3rd down. This is when Jim Johnson loves to get after the quarterback. You know, the pressure on Campbell forced that little errant throw. He had his tight end Chris Cooley open there, match against Brian Dawkins. Eyeing outside.
There's Reno Mahe, and the Eagle fans, as Susie alluded to, cheering the presence of Mahe, just somebody who can catch it and not muff the punt. And listen to this reaction. Well, he just lets it go, obviously, as it's over his head. And it's down by the Redskins at the 5. But they've been happy with that. Look at that. Standing ovation.
He didn't muff it.
That's right.
That's a victory for them.
Hey, hey.
Let's do it again.
Not now.
Now?
Not now.
Now?
Now.
Easy out, easy in, with room for everyone. The Mazda CX-9 crossover SUV. 7 passengers. The Zoom Zoom way.
Right now, get 0.0% APR financing on the 07 Mazda CX-9.
Ooh, the never-ending pasta bowl is going on.
Oh, you didn't know?
No, I had no idea.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl with new smoked mozzarella Alfredo. Pick any sauce and pasta combination, then another. Just $8.95. Have all you want.
Ladies, I can hook it up so you can talk to all your friends all the time.
He means nights and weekends.
I could offer you unlimited calling.
Only on the same network.
So which one of us are you going to go with?
Chad. He's with Alltel, where I can call friends on any network, anytime, for as long as I want. And unlike your plans, his is really unlimited. Chad!
Oh, could this date get any worse?
Take the challenge and enjoy unlimited free calling with My Circle. Switch today and add family lines free.
That Alfredo really hit the spot.
You just said that about the meat sauce.
Different dish, different spot.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl with new sausage and peppers marinara. Pick any sauce and pasta combination, then another. Just $8.95. Have all you want.
I took an NFL player to school. Maybe you can too.
It's the NFL Take a Player to School sweepstakes. Enter at NFLRush.com.
I want to win.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Mazda, always the soul of a sports car. Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family. Alltel Wireless, take the head-to-head challenge at alltelcircle.com. And eBay, shop victoriously.
Rich in American history and a great sports city as well, Philadelphia. It's been a fabulous week here in Philly, and the Eagles open up at home, and Donovan McNabb takes this field. Last time in a regular season game, left it on a cart. November 19th, injuring the knee against Tennessee. Opening drive from the 6, and a run to the right for Brian Westbrook goes nowhere. Well, McNabb said this week, and I found that interesting, as he comes back from the repair of the ACL of the right knee, that the explosiveness is not there, that he's about 75–80%. He stopped putting a public percent on it because everyone said, oh, what do you get today, 82–83?
He said he'd just give thumbs up, no numbers anymore.
You saw the numbers from week 1, under 50% completion against an improved Packers defense. Throwing from his own end zone to Kevin Curtis. Complete, just shy of 13. We'll have 3rd and 3 coming up on this Washington defense that's improved from last year.
Nice job by Donovan. He looked off to his right and came back to his left. He had Kevin Curtis coming underneath. When the corner's off, you take that little delay route back up inside. The Eagles have worked hard all week long on this no-huddle style of offense, again, to try to keep the Washington Redskins nickel packages from getting on the field.
And that nickel package compromised a bit. Fred Smoot, injured hamstring, played well last week against Miami, out tonight for Washington, inactive. 3rd and 3 against a 5-man rush. Underneath, Westbrook. The big weapon to the 30. First down. Andy Reid showing good vertical to get out of the way. Gain of 18.
As you watch Brian Westbrook tonight, it's a where's Waldo game. He will be all over the place. The Redskins will have to try to find him. Here he gets matched up on a linebacker, London Fletcher. That's not a matchup. It's a mismatch. Brian Westbrook will beat London Fletcher every single time with that much space.
We'll see what a factor he was in overall yardage. 1,816 yards on the season. McNabb for Curtis against the man coverage is incomplete. Here's Donovan to introduce us to the rest of the Philadelphia offense.
And there you have my offensive line, left tackle, Trey Thomas, and also guys that highlight the young kid, big kid, Sean Andrews. And for my weapons, White Lightning, Kevin Curtis, and downtown Reggie Brown. But you can't forget the one in the backfield, number 36, Mr. Everything, versatility, Rocket Man, Brian Westbrook.
Donovan mentioned Kevin Curtis. He came over via free agency from the Rams. And Mr. Do Everything on the ground, just shy of a first down, but a penalty marker is down. Back where the blocking happened, usually a hold. Carlos Rogers, Sean Taylor on the tackle.
Holding, 67, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
On Jamal Jackson, the center.
You know, when you have a cutback runner like Brian Westbrook, it's very difficult as offensive linemen. They stick and they stay on their blocks. All of a sudden, the back cuts back. They feel him cutting back, and also they reach out and grab Jamal Jackson with the hold.
Penalty still being walked off as the Eagles are breaking the huddle. It's going to be back at the 24. It'll be 2nd and 16, or 17, I should say. The Philadelphia offense run by Jeff Garcia after McNabb went out last year. They won those last 5 and got to the playoffs. McNabb's pass is complete to the 30-yard line to Thomas Tepe. Marcus Washington made the tackle. And here's London Fletcher to introduce the rest of the Skins defense.
Starting on defensive line for the Washington Redskins tonight, bringing that heat off the corner is Andre Sergeant Carter and the fastest 300-pounder in the world, Cornelius Griffin. At the linebacker corps, we got Rocky McIntosh and the good doctor, Marcus Washington. The dynamic duo leading that secondary, hitting LaRon Landry, and the dynamic one, Sean Taylor.
4 first-round picks in that secondary. And one of them, Carlos Rogers, able to help corral Kevin Curtis shy of the first down. So that holding penalty puts him behind the chains, and Philadelphia kicks it away.
Yeah, Donovan is going to have to be very patient attacking this Redskins defense. Under Greg Williams, their defensive coordinator, over the past couple years, they've been about a 50% blitz team. Now they've changed a little bit more of a bend and break. Donovan, or bend and don't break is what they would prefer to have, and Donovan's got to be patient where he throws the football.
If they bend and break, this thing's over in a hurry, isn't it?
Antoine Randall L. checking the wind, except for the Sav Rocca punt. The 33-year-old former Australian football star. Randall L. lets it bounce, and it will be down at the 18-yard line by Greg Lewis.
Just like he did it in the old country in Australia, where he was the pride of the Goolagong.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Washington State, USC, or Iowa, Wisconsin. Saturday at 8 Eastern.
Paying for is having great vision. So when it came time for me to get a new TV, I got a Vizio. It's clear, it's crisp, it gives me all the details I'm used to seeing on the field. My Vizio makes me feel like I'm right in the game.
He caught him napping, and now it's nothing but open field again. 40, what a block, 45.
Better.
Get in the game with the new Vizio, America's #1 flat panel HD TV company.
This is Jan's new home. And this is Jan after finding out that DirecTV will be paying her mortgage for a whole year. Why is Jan so lucky? Because she called this number before she moved and was automatically entered into the DirecTV Home Free Sweepstakes. Now she's living mortgage-free for a whole year. Are you thinking about moving? Call prior to your big day and you could be living mortgage or rent-free too. Lucky for you, there's a new winner every month. It's enough to make you jump for joy.
Two explosive light heavyweight strikers go to war to get back on the path to a world title shot. Former champion Chuck the Iceman Liddell takes on the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, in a clash both expect to win by knockout. Also, the UFC debut of Pride superstar Mauricio Shogun Hua as he battles Forrest Griffin. And winner of 13 straight fights, John Fitch, takes on Diego Nightmare Sanchez. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 76 Knockout. Live Saturday, September 22nd from Honda Center in Anaheim, California on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Lincoln Financial Field, which opened on a Monday night in 2003 against the Buccaneers. Opening night for the 07 season. Second drive for the Redskins, no score. Former Eagle James Thrash in motion. And the hand to Portis, pinballs to the 22. Curse on the bottom, Considine on the top, making the tackle. Clinton Portis made an impact in Denver his first couple of seasons. 29 games played for the Broncos and a touchdown per game and a pretty hearty yards per carry average. Now traded to Washington, the Champ Bailey deal. 40 games as a Redskin, 24 touchdowns, so obviously that production down, and the yards per carry well down as well. So many things can factor, but the Clinton Portis you thought you were getting, Redskin fans have not seen to this point. Moss in motion, 2nd and 6. Portis. Devon Curse with the tackle, yard and a half shy of the first down.
You look at this team on offense with Santana Moss and Antoine Randall and, of course, Clinton Portis. They should be better than 5-11. 5-11 was a stunner to them last year. And Portis said to us the other day, it's the best thing that could have happened. It calmed down a lot of egos, people who thought they were the man, including myself. So there was probably rampant egotism because of all these high-priced guys. 5-11, slapped in the face.
Randall L. lines up in the backfield here on 3rd and a yard. And they give to the fullback Sellers out of the arm tackle. Hard run, first down. Brian Dawkins couldn't bring him down. Takeo Spikes does.
Brad Sellers, 6'3", 284 pounds. He gets very little opportunity to run the football. Here he does a terrific job of picking up the first down. This is a very versatile offense under Al Saunders. You know, Al Saunders came up with the big playbook, Tony. You know, he wanted to throw the football around, but they've gone back to that
60
power
pounds.
running game. A lot of plays in it, though.
Saunders of the 700-page
ones. Yeah. It's the Gutenberg Bible of playbooks.
Betts stretching it to the outside. Spikes and Sheldon Brown show him the sideline, but there's a little bit of the sample of the running. That is more of the Joe Gibbs offense we got to know during the heyday.
You mentioned Al Saunders. He was brought to Washington at an enormous salary, over $2 million a year, and given the play calling, Antoine Randall L. and Clinton Portis described the team as dysfunctional. They said not everybody bought into this guy. Randall L. said a bunch of guys, not 2 or 3. It was tough to digest that offense last year, and in fact, their offense was nothing.
Well, please, let me get back to that after this play, all right?
Okay.
Cooley in motion, Portis the hand. He'll get to the 40-yard line. Trent Cole with the tackle. Saunders came over from Kansas City, where he was 2001 through 2005.
And Mike, he was in St. Louis as well, where they were very prolific offenses. He knows how to put together an offense. The fact that the players did not buy in because they couldn't check their ego at the door and play as a team should not be blamed on Al Saunders.
Well, what the players said was, it was too much for us. We didn't want it. We wondered.
Well, how about studying, Tony? That may help. Work at your trade. Work at your craft. Not look to blame somebody.
Is he a pal of yours? What? What's the deal?
They're all my pals. Okay. But I think the players have to understand what it takes to be successful.
3rd and 2. Pocket collapses. Campbell has to spin it out. The pass is incomplete. Broderick Bunkley was helping push toward Campbell. Wasn't allowed to stride into it. And it will be a punt for Washington.
It is interesting. I don't want to go too much in this, but when Porter said last year there was always bickering, coaches also have responsibility, as do players, to sort of calm the waters, do they not? He knew that they were rebelling.
Well, there's also a certain part of the team that must lead itself in the locker room, guys that understand what it takes to be successful and to buy into what was a successful system.
Out of Northern Iowa, Derek Frost with the kick. Mahe catches, brings the derisive cheer. An appreciative cheer.
I don't think that's derisive. I think they're grateful.
But I think it's derisive from what happened last week.
Oh, yeah.
Please, can we have somebody catch a punt?
That's standing ovation. Cost them the game last week for certain, 2 of them.
McNabb back on the field after this.
Step up to a beer brewed longer. Step up to exceptional taste that's never filling. .99 calories, 0 grams of fat. Budweiser Select. Step it up.
Shop victoriously.
Come on, sweetheart. Did you have fun?
Mom, what does spoiled mean?
Spoiled? Why? Did somebody call you that?
No, somebody called you that.
It's time you were spoiled too. The Mazda CX-9 crossover SUV. 7 passengers. The Zoom Zoom way.
Zoom Zoom.
Right now, get 0.0% APR financing on the 07 Mazda CX-9.
NASCAR. All fall on ESPN2 and ABC.
Well, all eyes trained on the man who's been the focus of this Eagles offense for the last 8 years. Donovan McNabb, the number 2 pick in the 1999 draft, getting things started from their own 28. And comes back to a second option, incomplete pass, as London Fletcher was able to apply the hit on Reggie Brown. Brown's got to hang on to that.
Make no mistake about what you just said, Mark. Donovan McNabb is the biggest star on the field and the most important guy on the field in terms of what he does for his team. And all eyes in Philadelphia are watching him to find out how much does he have left. Can he be the Pro Bowl guy he has been numerous times?
So 2nd down and 10 now. And the run to the 33-yard line for Brian Westbrook. We have 3rd and 5 coming up. Jaws, when we saw those numbers from last week, 15 of 33, 184 yards, that's not very impressive. How much of that was on the receiver's inability to get open against Green Bay?
Mike, the Green Bay Packers deployed bump and run coverage on the outside against the Eagles wide receiver. 92% of the time they had at least one receiver in press bump and run. The Eagles wide receivers did not do a good job of beating the bump and run initially at the line of scrimmage. And Donovan did not have a great game himself. And in fact, you see that bump and run coming back this week right now.
Westbrook watched by the rookie LaRon Landry. McNabb looked that way. It was covered. Donovan scrambling. Punt from behind and brought down by Marcus Washington. And the Eagles will be forced to punt. Nice job by Washington, the former second-round pick of the Colts, now in his 4th year in D.C.
Here you see Donovan. He goes 1, 2, 3. No one there. He looks to break the pocket. Now, you know, you could say, well, he normally would break that, but Marcus Washington is a very quick, agile, fast linebacker. He's going to catch just about any quarterback from behind, let alone Donovan McNabb.
So another punt from Rocca. We've heard it pronounced Roca. He corrected it this week, says Sav Rocca. Mishandled by the opponent in Randall L. That was a thrill for the Philadelphia fans.
They were stunned. They've never seen that. It's usually in green and white that happens.
Well, Greg Lewis, who had one of the muff punts last week, was there to tackle.
The weekday fix for football fans.
You've got to catch that football and take some pressure off your quarterback.
NFL analysis from the best in the business.
The best receiver in football, period.
All season, all year. NFL Live, Mondays at 3:30, Tuesday through Friday at 4 on ESPN.
My name is LaDainian Tomlinson. I play football. A lot of people say I came out of nowhere. I most definitely came from somewhere. I remember where I came from. It's made me who I am today. I played fullback at University High, but I wasn't really running the ball at first. You had to earn the right to carry the ball. When I got my chance, I didn't look back. Yeah, I'm used to being overlooked. Even once I started getting noticed, newspapers would still spell my name wrong. Good thing I go by LT now. My mom always told me, believe in yourself, go after your dreams, and work hard, because it ain't gonna come free, and it ain't gonna come easy. I believe no one is gonna give you anything. You have to earn it. And I believe in letting your performance speak for itself.
Vizio, America's #1 flat panel HD TV company.
For great college football from across the country, you need ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. Covering many of the best teams and conferences, ESPN Game Plan has up to 12 games every Saturday from outside your local area. Order now by calling 1-800-GET-SPORTS for a full season of great college football with ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. Only 2 payments of $64.50. Order now at 1-800-GET-SPORTS or go to directtv.com/gameplan.
Now.
Some of our Monday Night Football topics. Maybe Donovan McNabb's not the quarterback for life in Philly. Joe Gibbs back to the way the Skins used to win. And Charles Barkley's going to join us in the booth. He'll talk about Bill Belichick in the news this week, obviously, and other things. Remember, Charles was with us last year in Arizona, where he has a home, and that was a home game for him. And here he is in Philly, where he still also has a place to hang his hat. So Barkley
maybe
in the booth.
Buy one in New Orleans for next week.
Chuck will be with us in the second half. Third series for the Redskins, throwing deep for Moss, hauled in by Santana at the 26-yard line. They flip the field with a 45-yarder in front of William James.
And it appears that William James has the star on him. In other words, he's the guy that Jason Campbell is looking to attack. What a great throw right here. You can see William James trailing Santana Moss by a step and a half. Excellent job at the line of scrimmage, freezing James, then getting inside. The ball takes him to the outside. We'd like to say throwing that out in the box toward the sideline. With Lito Shepherd out, William James gets the start.
Shepherd, a medial collateral ligament sprain in his knee. He's a starter, so James in his place, burnt there. Portis loses one. Dawkins the tackle. Here's Michelle.
Well, Jason Campbell didn't start playing organized football until he was in 7th grade when his dad, Larry, was his coach. And I spoke to Larry, and he told me that even back then, people were looking at Jason and saying, boy, this kid has pro potential. And a young Jason promised his mom, someday I'm going to make it to the NFL. I'm going to buy you a big new house. His focus never wavered. And sure enough, Mike, here he is. And he bought his parents that big new house in Hattiesburg, right near Brett Favre's place.
Down in Mississippi, Brett went to school at Southern Miss, which is where Hattiesburg is. Campbell on the naked, right through the hands of the backup tight end, Todd Yoder. It's incomplete. Well, Campbell is the latest quarterback. Since Dan Snyder bought the Redskins in 99, Brad Johnson was there for 27, and Jeff
That
George.
didn't work.
No, Tony Banks.
That didn't work.
Shane Matthews in the Spurrier era, right? Patrick Ramsey, and then certainly a Spurrier guy, and Danny Werfel.
Oops, yeah, that was bad.
Tim Hasselbeck did not work.
Wife.
Mark Brunell.
Hot wife.
And now Jason Campbell.
Campbell looks like a guy who could stick. I mean, he's made great throws tonight, Jaws. That was a lot of quarterback. It sounded like you were ill there. You were ailing when you saw that list.
He's got 3rd and 11 here against a 4-man rush. Throws underneath, shy of the first down. Omar Gaither makes the tackle on Portis. From here, the field goal is 35. And for those people who don't watch daytime network
she's on the
TV,
View. Elizabeth Hasselbeck.
Well, I don't think a lot of our viewers view the View.
Oh, well, I just figured with the Rosie stuff and the Whoopi stuff and the Barbara Walters stuff, they would have by now.
Tony, you must have a lot of free time.
Elizabeth Hasselbeck is worth a turn of the dial, wouldn't you say?
Sean Sweezum.
Oh, do I get no answer? I'm left hanging on that?
Yes.
Okay.
Back to the action. 35-yarder. At the end of the first quarter. Out of the hold of Derek Frost, the final play of the quarter is a 35-yard field goal. Tony and I will break down Whoopi and Barbara and how everybody's working on the View during the break. After 3-0 Washington.
You'll love this. Watch. The mirrors make bigger, better.
Well, it's fast, sharp, it's big, but they got rules. It's amazing.
It's the mirrors.
DLP HD TV. Millions of tiny mirrors make the biggest pictures better.
Save big with 2-year no-interest financing at Best Buy on DLP HD TVs.
That's him.
With the kind of craftsmanship, devotion to detail, and seriously cool stuff that goes into the Mazda 3.
Hey, Mike. Can I have my car back now?
Some people might never want to get out. Mazda 3, designed and engineered the Zoom Zoom way.
Right now, get 1.9% APR financing on the 2008 Mazda 3.
Coach! Coors Light Silver Ticket promotion. You get icy cold refreshment plus the chance to win NFL tickets.
Everybody has a chance to get their bite of the apple.
So you're saying everybody gets a chance to win NFL tickets?
The rules are fair.
Regulations?
The regulations are fair.
Competitive balance.
The competitive balance is fair.
Look for the official entry code inside special packs of Coors and Coors Light for your chance to win NFL tickets, even Super Bowl tickets, and more.
Is there anything I can't win?
High performance helicopter.
Hey, what are footballs made of? Pig skin. I can't believe our ancestors didn't think of this.
If they had, they would have eaten it.
Nick.
Football's just like bacon.
Really?
Caveman premieres Tuesday, October 2nd at 8/7 Central on ABC. Start here.
Ready? To the second quarter here in Philadelphia with Ron Jaworski, Tony Kornheiser, Michelle Tafoya, and Susie Culver. Mike Tirico, 3-0. The Redskins lead. Sean Sweezum, who kicked the game-winning field goal to close business against Miami in D.C. last week. Caps a quarter where the Redskins had the ball for almost 10.5 minutes, and Philadelphia couldn't get any sustained offense.
Tony, that is Redskin football.
Sure.
You know, if you look at that first quarter, 10 runs, 9 passes. When you know Joe Gibbs' profile, his template for success back when he won those 3 Super Bowls. Control the football, control the clock, keep the other team's offense
but he also
sitting on
let
the
his
bench.
quarterback take some deep shots downfield to keep everybody honest, and he hit one of them.
You got to take your shots. If you allow corners, get in bump and run, you're making a mistake if you just let him take it away.
Sweezum's kick fielded a short one. Darrell Buckhalter from the 10. He squeezes through a tackle and gets just past the 30-yard line. LaRon Blanchard, the first-round pick, made the tackle. He'll stay on the field to try to defend Donovan McNabb in Philly when we come back.
The FIFA Women's World Cup, Nigeria, USA, Tuesday on ESPN.
Hi guys, what's going on?
Buzzword bingo.
Buzzword bingo?
These innovation meetings are killing us.
The hype, the jargon.
The buzzwords.
Every time you hear one, you mark your card.
In short, we are 100% committed to facilitating a culture of out-of-the-box, goal-oriented, value-added, disruptive Web 3.0.
Bingo.
Comfortable in jeans that are tough. I'm comfortable in jeans that fit great. I'm comfortable in Wrangler.
Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Built tough with 14-ounce heavyweight denim. Built comfortable with a stone-washed finish and relaxed fit. Wrangler 5-star premium denim jeans. Satisfaction guaranteed. Wrangler. Real, comfortable jeans.
It's been all Colts today. Peyton's calling an audible.
Hey, you, come here. It's 28-3. If you had an NFL Sunday ticket from DirecTV, you can watch up to 14 games every Sunday. So instead of watching this, you can watch my brother Eli play against the Cowboys. Oh, I gotta run. Actually, I think I'll pass.
Pump fake. Touchdown!
Join now and get 4 months free of our best TV package when you buy NFL Sunday ticket. Only on DirecTV.
One of the big stories the first 2 weeks is what's going on with the Saints. Reggie Bush, Drew Brees, can they get going? Vince Young in Tennessee played very well if you watch that game against Indianapolis. We'll see the Titans and the Saints, the home opener for the Saints, almost a year to the day after the Dome reopened so emotionally last year. See you for Monday Night Football next week from Louisiana. McNabb and the Eagles taking over from the 31. Donovan's pass to L.J. Smith. The tight end has been bothered by a groin injury, a gain of about 6 yards. Well, Donovan McNabb running Andy Reid's offense. Andy Reid's story this offseason was one that included off the field. He had to take a 5-week leave of absence to be around his family and change that coach role and that coach hat to the dad hat. His two sons, Garrett and Britt, both in serious legal trouble. Garrett 24, Britt 22. Weapons, drug charges, auto accidents among the things that happened, and Britt getting in trouble again just a couple of weeks ago, and he's currently incarcerated and in jail. So a very difficult time for Andy Reid away from football as McNabb throws incomplete. A high, hard shot taken by Brown and administered by Sean Taylor. And guys, that's been the question for so many people around Philadelphia. This is a very difficult time in family for Andy Reid.
No question about it. Andy Reid, you know, and the coaching profession takes a lot out of you. You know, you have to devote a lot of time to it. And all of a sudden, you know, you could be in a meeting and you're thinking about your family, your kids are in trouble. Very, very difficult for Andy Reid. But, you know, we talked to some of the players, and they haven't seen that in him. But I can imagine how difficult it must be on him, on Tammy, you know, to carry this burden right now.
His wife, who you mentioned, 3rd and 4 against a 4-man rush. McNabb trying to keep a drive alive here. Able to do so. Spectacular grab by Jason Avant, the second-year man out of Michigan, who had 3 big catches in the game at Green Bay last week. First down.
Excellent job by McNabb here. You see the rush coming on the inside from Marcus Washington. Donovan gets to the outside, and on the move, Tony makes a nice throw for the first down.
Very nice. So at the 45-yard line.
I never said he couldn't move, Jaws. I said he was reluctant.
I just want you to be aware of that. Okay.
Thomas Toupé, the fullback, dotting the I. Westbrook through the hole in the middle for 14 yards and a first down before Sean Springs brings him down. You know, part of the Andy Reid thing, it's so uncomfortable. It's the most private stuff, but it is public because of who you are and what you do, which is unfair, but it's reality.
These are real-life problems, real-life intrusions, and when we look at football players and baseball players and coaches and politicians, you think, oh, they only exist to do this one job, and real life doesn't intrude upon them. Well, it does intrude, and it is obviously intruded upon Andy Reid, and you wonder, Jaws, as you said, how can he give fully to being a coach with all this out there?
You know, every single day a little piece is taken away from him. That begins to take its toll.
Westbrook, good run, stays on his feet, and Westbrook into the secondary. Gain of 27, first down at the 13-yard line. Best drive of the night for Philly. .42 yards on back-to-back runs by Westbrook.
Nice job by Brian Westbrook. I'll tell you, he's got quickness. As you can see, Landry misses on the tackle.
Watch this move.
Right there. Woo.
Wow. Through the arm tackle of Demetric Evans, who's starting for the injured Philip Daniels, out with a sprained right foot. Daniels inactive. With the electricity of Westbrook bringing the Eagles into the red zone for the first time. It's time to the 10. Carell Buckhalter the carry. Here's Susie Colbert.
Well, more on Andy. And team president Joe Banner points to his strength, his character, and leadership on why he's been able to handle this. And from his perspective, Andy hasn't missed a beat in terms of his responsibilities with the team, although he has observed that maybe he's more willing to delegate responsibility, more trusting of his offense and defensive coordinator. But he said Andy seems to have a renewed commitment, a new energy and appreciation for the positive things in his life. You know, just like the players who deal with adversity and the game is their solace, it seems to be the case with Andy. But Joe said you can tell he just cherishes being with the people he loves at home and at work.
So many of the players echoed that as we visited with them during the week, Suze. 2nd and 7. McNabb throwing. It's caught on a knee by Hank Baskett, one of the 5 receivers the Eagles use. Gain of 4 in front of Carlos Rogers.
One of the things I want to say about this, and George, we've talked about this, we have children the same age as Andy Reid's children. And your heart goes out to him as a father as well. Because, I mean, you and I both feel the same way. Every night you say, where are my kids? Are my kids safe? And people can look at Andy Reid and realize, hey, this, you know, there but for the grace of God go all of us.
And it could happen to anyone, as you alluded to a moment ago.
Sure.
You count your blessings.
And the football community is really pulling for Andy and his family, and things go as well as possible. 3rd and 4. First down awaits at the 3. Pressure picked up, and McNabb's hot shot is too high. And incomplete for Reggie Brown, so the Eagles will attempt a field goal.
That's a throw Donovan has to squeeze in there. He had the man-to-man coverage. That's a ball you got to put right on the belt buckle, force the defensive back to go through the wide receiver. That one got high and away for Donovan.
So David Akers will come in.
He's got to be 100 years old now.
Who, Akers? No, it's only his 9th year in the league at Louisville.
All?
Yeah.
100? I must have him confused with George Bland again.
Who turned 80, by the way.
Today.
Such good information from you guys. Morton Anderson is back in the league. Morton Anderson signed in Atlanta. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Gleason recovers a fumble in the end zone. That's his first career touchdown.
Wait, is that a Dr. Pepper?
Oh, he's going to make the most of this one.
Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. We're so glad you could attend.
Can you believe this? We might be here all night. Is he really going to do this? Look out.
Only Dr. Pepper has 23 flavors packed in one bold taste. For those who make the most of everything.
Ooh, the never-ending pasta bowl is going on.
Oh, you didn't know?
No,
I figured that's why you were in such a hurry to get here.
No, I had no idea what was going on.
Olive Garden's never-ending pasta bowl is back with delicious new sauces like sausage and peppers marinara and smoked mozzarella alfredo. Pick any combination of sauce and pasta, then another. Try them all for just $8.95, plus endless breadsticks and salad.
I'll have the penne with meat sauce followed by the 5-cheese marinara.
No idea, huh?
Olive Garden. When you're here, you're family.
The Verizon Wireless Broadband Access Card transforms any time into productive time. So when you're on the go, so is the network. It's 100% business and 0% office. Get a free broadband access card and connect to email, downloads, and browse the internet on America's most reliable wireless broadband network. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
An all-new Contender, Tuesday at 10 p.m. on ESPN.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Dick's Sporting Goods. Every season starts at Dick's. Verizon Wireless. AIG for insurance, investments, retirement. AIG, the strength to be there. And Dr. Pepper, with 23 flavors in every Dr. Pepper. There's more to it.
See those parking lots, bottom of your screen at Lincoln Financial Field? There were people in them at about 2 o'clock this afternoon. They've been waiting 9 months for the opener here in Philadelphia.
Incredibly passionate people. There's a, look at that big eagle back there. Wow. Scary.
Putting the pressure on Rock Cartwright. That was a funny shot. Cartwright from the 6. You can't elude the human Eagles, and he's brought down at the 30-yard line by Hank Baskett, the backup receiver. But Portis, the Redskin offense on the field, all square at 3.
ESPN, how can I help you? John Anderson is at extension 5634. There you go. Oh, Stan, got a message for you. Production meeting, 2 o'clock.
Part of being a great player is having great vision. So when it came time for me to get a new TV, I got a Vizio. It's clear, it's crisp, it gives me all the details I'm used to seeing on the field. My Vizio makes me feel like I'm right in the game.
He thought of napping, and now it's nothing but open field ahead. 40, what a block, 45.
Better.
Get in the game with the new Vizio, America's #1 flat panel HD TV company.
Winning is everything. Suddenly, it's just not true anymore. Not now. What matters is that we keep this program alive. They left this to us. It's on our shoulders. When you take that field, lay their heart on the line. If you do that, we cannot be defeated.
We are Marshall. Coming to DirecTV September 18th.
2 explosive light heavyweight strikers go to war to get back on the path to a world title shot. Former champion Chuck the Iceman Liddell takes on the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, in a clash both expect to win by knockout. Also, the UFC debut of Pride superstar Mauricio Shogun Hua as he battles Forrest Griffin, and winner of 13 straight fights John Fitch takes on Diego Nightmare Sanchez. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 76 Knockout, live Saturday, September 22nd from Honda Center in Anaheim, California on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Each team putting a field goal on the board. Best drives of the night. Washington at the end of the first. Philadelphia at the start of the second. All tied at 3 here in the city of brotherly love. And Jason Campbell will lead out this Redskin attack.
There you go, Tony. Bunch of tight ends and fullbacks in there. Only 1 wide receiver. Now you happy?
Toss left to Portis. No gain. They're running out of big bodies, though. Michelle Tafoya.
Yeah, right guard, starting right guard, Randy Thomas now out with a torn tricep, Mike. And this is a real hit to the Redskins offensive line. Last week, they lost their starting right tackle, John Jansen, for the season. So that right side of the line really banged up. Chris Samuels told me before the game he feels like the communication is coming together on the line. But now Jason Fabini's in there, so another new face on that line, Mike.
Wow. Thomas, who had a very similar injury to Jansen back in 2005. The other starter on the right side, losing 1 a week here. Campbell's second down. Intercepted. A huge hit, but held on to by William James, who was beat earlier on the Santana Moss catch. Clinton Portis popped him, but the former Will Peterson hangs on for the interception.
Well, there's no doubt about it. Jason Campbell was late with this throw. You'll see him in the pocket here, coming off the play action to Clinton Portis. Right now, the ball has to be out. He doesn't see it. He's late with the throw. William James is able to drive the throw and make the interception. You'll see the jam at the line of scrimmage. Now he's going to undercut because he has help over the top. Real good job by James driving underneath, but he was late with the throw.
Isn't that symptomatic of young quarterbacks most of the time, because they're unsure and they're reluctant to let it go before the guy is actually cleared and open, right?
And in defense of Jason, there was some pressure in his face, but if you don't see it, don't throw it.
For James, his first interception since 04. McNabb, first down. Underneath throw. Complete to L.J. Smith. The tight end gets 6 yards. Here's Trey Wingo with the SportsCenter 30 at 30 update. Trey.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Chris Mortensen reporting that the Falcons are meeting with quarterback Byron Leftwich right now, trying to decide whether or not to sign the former Jag. They have brought back veteran kicker Morton Anderson, who, of course, began his NFL career in the Cretaceous period. And Titans and Jeff Fisher agree on 4-year contract extension. Keeps him there through 2011. SportsCenter after the game. ESPN News always on. Michael.
Good stuff, Trey. We'll see Jeff Fisher and the Titans next week. Morton Anderson is 47. Turned 47 in August. About a yard for Westbrook as they try the left side. Cornelius Griffin over there on the tackle, former Giant, 4 years now with the Redskins. And Westbrook, can he be the 20 to 25 carry back? He was used in that third down role, out of the backfield role. Until last year, he became the guy and carried that load quite well.
Mike, he became the guy late in the season when he was a little bit fresher. I'm not sure over a 16-game schedule he can touch it 25 times a game. Down the stretch, give it to him.
Because he's so dangerous in this spot, 3rd and 3. McNabb throws a first down to the 25-yard line. Brown will get forward progress in those hogtied by Springs and Taylor. They'll move the chains and down to Susie.
Well, Mike, Ryan Westbrook does so much in this offense. I wondered how he handles it. So he said he spent all last night, all day today, just reviewing, going over every position that he lines up in. There's a lot of multiple options. He said he's a part of about 70% of them. Then after reviewing, he said the key is just to be himself. And physically, he bought himself one of those hyperbaric chambers last season. Says it's really helped. Andy also goes easier on him in practice.
He's one of the 7 different receivers to catch a McNabb pass tonight, Suze. That one through the hands of L.J. Smith, the tight end, incomplete. 2nd and 10 with Sean Springs and Marcus Washington covering. Another guy buying a hyperbaric chamber to sleep in. It's obviously having results for a lot of guys in terms of body recovery after playing for the week.
Remember last year, Darren Sharper was early on in Barnett, and T.O. bought one too, didn't he? And they did sit-ups in it, I think, on the driveway.
You know, if you taped an aspirin to one of these guys' foreheads, they would think it helped.
2nd and 10, a quick shot is caught, but a good job by Rocky McIntosh, the second-year linebacker out of Miami, to bring down Greg Lewis. Fans frustrated by that. It's a quick short pass, and very often it's the pass before the run for Philadelphia under Andy Reid's 9 years here. Look at the run-pass mix. Highest among coaches in NFL history who have been doing it for 100 games. Essentially, it's a 6-to-4 or 3-to-2 ratio pass to run, and tonight it's beyond that. Play 24 should be past 17. It's too high from McNabb and incomplete. We've seen Donovan miss high a couple of times here in this second quarter. Field goal coming.
Yeah, Hank Baskett, 6'4", and going up pretty high, and Donovan once again a little wild high in this game. You know, sometimes you got to take a little bit off these throws. You can see he lost the ball there. It flutters out of his hand. Not an accurate throw. Got man-to-man coverage once again. You're going to have to make those anticipation stick throws into tight windows. Anticipation being the key.
Snow Akers, who made his NFL debut and kicked 1 game with the Redskins in '98. From 39. Able to get it through and give Philadelphia the lead halfway through the second quarter. They could have had touchdowns. McNabb didn't hit that one.
Interception. The commission of the More Taste League. Bingo. You fellows have gotten your hands on some non-sanctioned light beer?
There was a big, shiny display.
The league only recognizes light beer with more taste and the scant 3.2 grams of carbs. That's the yin and the yang, the bottom, the bing of light beer. Yes.
So which beers are league approved?
Beer, singular, Miller Lite.
Commission's wise.
Amen!
The official beer of the More Taste League, Miller Lite. Good call.
Laughter can add 8 years to your life. So live longer, retire stronger, never outlive your money.
In the NFL, the biggest games are decided by the smallest details. That's why Samsung imagined an LCD HD TV with 120 Hz, a true black screen, and twice the frames per second for exceptional motion clarity.
We got it. Challenge it.
So you won't have to wait for further review to start the celebration. The decision is clear. Samsung, the official HD TV of the NFL.
NASCAR. All fall on ESPN2 and ABC.
Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb have been together all 9 seasons. Andy looking for win 81. Conversation there with Reggie Brown, the other receivers. The interception by William James setting up the field goal in Philadelphia, leading Washington 6-3 in this NFC East. First of 2 meetings between these teams.
The interception that Jason Campbell threw was very reminiscent of the interception he threw last week against Miami.
First drive of the game.
Receiver.
Yes, you're right, Ron. You're right. Rock Cartwright returns the kickoff from the 7. And covered by the Eagles, the 25-yard line. Nick Graham, Quentin Michael over there for the tackle. We'll see if Campbell bounces back from the pick after this.
Welcome to a world deeply immersed in liquidity. A world where products and services are exchanged more efficiently. Where futures look bright. And where new products evolve at warp speed. NYSE Euronext. One market, infinite possibilities.
Redskins taking over at their own 25. Moss hit a big play earlier on to the ground, and Portis. Good run to the left side. The first down gain of 10. Back to the pick a moment ago.
Yeah, you'll see Jason Campbell right here under center. This game is about getting the ball out of your hand, and when the receiver pops open, you'll see it right here. He's got him open downfield. The ball is a split second late. William James is able to undercut the route because he's got help over the top. That one little pad of the ball, that is the killer, because you had Randall L. open if the ball was out on time. Anticipation at this level or any level is critical.
Here's a game of 9.5, not 10. And they try to bank forward to get it with Mike Sellers, and they don't. So a third and a yard coming up. Michelle is more on the Redskin quarterback.
Yeah, you ask yourself, how will Jason Campbell respond after throwing that interception? And I talked to 2 of his former coaches, his dad and Auburn's Tommy Tuberville. They both told me one of Campbell's strengths is he has a short memory when it comes to mistakes. And Jason actually told me, I learned early, if you make a bad play, you can make the situation worse by getting mad about it. My team's going to need me to make plays later on. So, Mike, let's see if he lives by that tonight.
Have a chance to think about it for another couple of seconds on this ensuing drive, as a timeout has been taken before this third. And now a full yard. Be right back.
Somewhere along the way, you lost a step. You swapped 2-a-days for 8-hour days. You surrendered tackles for time cards. Somewhere, life got in the way. But you never turned in your stripes as a field general. And guess what? You never have to. Madden NFL 08, rated E for everyone. EA Sports, it's in the game.
Shop victoriously.
Barbecue sets, go! Portable chairs, go! Grills, go! Blankets, go!
Choose from this season's hottest tailgating collection at NFL Shop and select retailers.
I want that!
If I'm going to build my garden around one flower, I'm starting with the Cranes bill.
Whoa, a surprise pick by Emmett.
Get expert analysis on the league's biggest stories. Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
We end the pro football week. The college football week starts on Thursday night. The Aggies of A&M, number 20, go to the Orange Bowl to take on the Canes. They have a sophomore running back, Jarvis James, who's opening eyes. Miami and undefeated Texas A&M. Thursday night, of course, a former Cane running back in Clinton Portis. He was there when Frank Gore and Willis McGahee and Najee Davenport were in the same backfield in 01. That is a depth chart. 3rd and a yard. Right back to the fullback and pounded forward by Mike Sellers for the first down. Sellers, who was in Washington, was in Cleveland for a stretch, went to the CFL where he played for Edmonton and Winnipeg, went to NFL Europe. Here's a guy who bounced around and has finally found, bounced around positions too. Special teams, messed around even at linebacker for a stretch, but a huge presence as a blocker for Washington.
When he got cut, he didn't know what to hand in, his playbook or his passport, if he was in that many places, right?
Campbell has shown ability to get down the field with the deep ball very well. Let's see what they do from the 36. Keep it on the ground. Portis stretched out and chased out by Considine, but the first pressure from Sheldon Brown forced that play wide. He gets the credit, and it'll be second down.
Sheldon Brown is an excellent tackler. He's the one that forced that the run by Portis to the outside.
And injured Eagle as the action came to the sideline to make that play. And it is Sean Considine who was the last man over, the starting strong safety who was injured the last half of his rookie season with a shoulder injury. They're in the starting role in 06 and played well. He'd been battling a sprained knee coming into this week. So as they look at Considine, we'll step out for a moment.
Shop victoriously.
Hello, competition. Hello, adversity, love, anguish, disgust, elation. Hello, joy of victory and agony of defeat. Looks like you guys got word a new season is coming. So welcome back. We're looking forward to having your emotions around the house again. It's gonna be a great year. Madden NFL 08, rated E for everyone. EA Sports, it's in the game.
Well, nothing transforms a room quite like a fat hit. The size, the amazing detail, but capturing a moment that big, it's not easy. As a fathead photographer, you've got to be fast. You have to have reflexes like a jungle cat, like a ninja, like a ninja cat. You need to be half cat, half ninja. Maybe 60-40 ninja?
Real big Fathead. The biggest players, the biggest moments. Never look so real. Get yours today at fathead.com.
Back here, Philadelphia leading 6-3. Quentin Michael on the field to replace Sean Considine, who walked off under his own power. Here's Considine, middle of the field, coming to tackle Clinton Portis. And hits hard over there, not just on his leg, but also as they were pulling the down marker out. And that right knee that we mentioned was sprained. He comes up feeling the pain. So out of Boise State, Quentin Michael steps onto the field in the safety spot for 2nd and 9. 2nd and 9, everybody tight. No receivers split out. Campbell chased down and brought down by Jaquay Thomas, coming off a 6-sack season last year. The former Tennessee Titan now in his 3rd season as an Eagle.
The Eagles have an excellent rotation in their defensive line. Jaquay Thomas probably could be a starter. He is that good coming off the edge. But the Eagles like to rotate 6, 7, even 8 defensive linemen.
Clinton Portis, it was like a dive into a pool to try to block him, and he missed.
That's not good.
No. 3rd and 11, this Eagle defense looks like the Eagle defense we've been used to over the last couple of seasons. Not the one that struggled at the end of last year. Randall L., the catch, made 2 men miss, squirts forward, but a yard shy of the first down. He knows it. Had a chance to get there. Joselio Hansen, really nice job of tracking him down after Randall L's first catch.
Well, you are right, Mike, because when you get Randall L. in space, this is guys like a punt returner. He can make people miss. Joselio Hansen does a terrific job in the open field, holding Randall L. about a yard short of that first down.
So Reno Mahe will go back to receive.
Maybe he'll make forward progress on this one. He's let one go and doesn't run with him at all.
Almost getting to the Frost punt. Mahe will let it go. And a great job by a veteran punt returner. He knew that he could legally block James Thrash to prevent downing it inside the 5. And the touchback, those hidden yards on a 55-yard punt that nets 35. Well, Joe Gibbs and Marty Schottenheimer and Steve Spurrier reaches back. Daniel Snyder reaches back to get those 2 guys. Now Joe Gibbs is the head coach. And Tony, it's been really about get the big names and bring them in.
He has built the team as if it were a fantasy league team. It's been a quick fix mentality. It hasn't worked. I mean, it's not so much as building a team as trying to buy a team. This is the first time he's had stability with a coach. Joe Gibbs now in his 4th year. Schottenheimer 1, Turner 1.5, right? Spurrier 2. Gibbs has been here for a while. Brings in assistant coaches, brings in big names. It has not worked in Washington.
McNabb taking over from the 20. Out of the pocket and running. Slides down for 3 to the 23. You saw the free agency impact. Guys who had big names have come in and not performed at that Pro Bowl level. What about the
There's
draft?
been a bunch of those. Bruce Smith and Jeff George and Dana Stubblefield and Jeremiah Trotter. He's got the lowest amount of draft picks since 2000. He's also got the oldest roster. And that's because he's bringing in all of these veterans, and they're not staying around for any great length of time. They're 59 and 69 since Dan Snyder took over in 1999.
From the 24, Westbrook able to get around the edge and a first down. Redskin bench wanted a holding flag called, but it was not thrown, and Westbrook gets a dozen yards and moves the chain.
So the question becomes with the Redskins, when is it going to work? They've had 2 playoff seasons in the Dan Snyder era, but you can go back to 1992. They've had 2 playoff seasons, Jaws, since 1992. And in the 80s and early 90s, the first time around with Gibbs, they were a dynasty much the way that San Francisco was, right?
And what will happen with this football team with those few draft choices after Joe Gibbs leaves? That's when I think you have major problems.
Well, their defense has been on the field the majority of this second quarter. Different from the first quarter. Westbrook carries to the 40-yard line as we get to the 2-minute warning, and Tony gets set to join Mike Wilbon on PTI at the half.
Yes, but first I'm going to videotape the defensive signals for the Redskins.
I was waiting for that. 2-minute warning.
It's crazy what you can do on your phone these days. Check this out.
You can make toast with your phone?
Now you can track your fantasy team on the go with NFL Mobile, available only from Sprint. It might not make toast, but it's still pretty cool.
Watch this.
The American dream. A white picket fence, 2.4 kids, and a nice puppy dog. No. The American dream is that each one of us gets our own dreams. Big dreams, small dreams, crazy dreams. But here's the thing. It's not just about where your dreams take you. It's where you take your dreams.
Find out why more people come to Ameriprise for financial planning than any other company. Visit us at ameriprise.com/plan.
How did we get roped into this?
Don't worry. I got enough for both of us.
Refreshingly smooth Bud Light. Always worth it.
First time at the Upper Place?
What are you guys doing?
We're ideating.
ID what? Ideating. What's that? Coming up with new ideas. Why don't you just call it that?
This is different. We need to rethink the way we do things. Structure.
Process. We need to innovate.
How?
We haven't ideated that yet.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Coming Thursday, September 27th, some big shot guys and their big shot wives.
She wants me to wax my...
Big Shots premieres Thursday, September 27th, 10/9 Central. Part of Premier League on ABC. Start here.
Lexus halftime show comes up with Chris Berman and Stuart Scott. Stu here in Philadelphia. We'll have the fastest 3 minutes ahead. Pardon the interruption at halftime as well. Talk about the cheating scandal in the NFL, among other topics. The reaction to the Patriots issue. McNabb throw behind Kevin Curtis. And incomplete, and Donovan McNabb, again, 10 months removed from a knee injury. Rehab, hard rehab all season. Didn't play a full load in the preseason, but still has not been sharp here tonight.
No, he's had people open, Mike, and he has just missed him. The Eagles' offensive line on their backs did a nice job of picking up the blitz. Donovan knew he had the one-on-one coverage on the outside to Curtis and threw the ball behind him. Right now, he is struggling with his accuracy.
3rd and 6. Washington has a couple of timeouts left. That huddle by the Eagles, only the second time they've huddled in what's about to be 30 offensive plays. McNabb was about to get hit, put it up for Curtis. Incomplete, step for step. Carlos Rogers the coverage. Rocky McIntosh the pressure. And the Eagle fans voiced their displeasure. Punt coming.
And the Redskins in their secondary went press man-to-man across the board. You know, they took a blueprint, the PageNet blueprint last week of the Green Bay Packers. You see the pressure on Donovan. He's got to get rid of the football. Wide receivers aren't winning. Of course, the ball was thrown far outside the sideline. Wouldn't have had a chance anyway.
So Sav Rocco with the punt. The Aussie kicks it 33 yards. Randall catches it and catches a faceful as it's the second consecutive special teams tackle for Nick Graham. So no return. And the Redskins will take over at the 27 with a couple of timeouts. And what honestly has not been one of the most exhilarating games in the history of the NFL.
Well, this is the type of game I actually expected tonight. I expected the quarterbacks to throw a little better, maybe make a few more plays, but this is your typical NFC East, I call it the old snot knocker kind of game. You know, just going to keep hitting each other, knocking the snot out of each other, get down to the last couple minutes of the game, and one play will determine the winner.
We do have to give some credit to the defense and respect them and realize Philadelphia's defense did not allow a touchdown at Green Bay. The only touchdown was on the muffed punt by Greg Lewis. And they haven't allowed a touchdown here. So 6 quarters, keeping the opponent out of the end zone. Campbell for the 27. Liddell Betts gets his shot. Quentin Michael in for Sean Considine makes the tackle. Gain of 3 for Betts in his 6th year out of Iowa. And we'll see if the Redskins go no huddle or huddle.
And this is a very intriguing situation for a young quarterback. Going up against a very aggressive zone blitzing style of defense. You know, in this 2-minute situation, he's in there now calling his own plays. Can he matriculate his team down the field against this get after it style of defense?
Sean Considine, by the way, safety Eagles, knee contusion, likely to return. Campbell's throw, caught by Randall L. Good job to haul it in at the 40 in front of William James. First down, timeout Washington. They'll have 1 left.
Excellent throw by Campbell under duress. You be the quarterback right here. Bodies are flying around you. Pulls it back. Outstanding body control by Randall L.
So it's nice to be 6'5" and 230. You can still see because there's no lane to throw through.
Boy, that's a great catch by Randall L. The ball is behind him. Williams James chasing from behind. He reaches back and snatches that football out of the air.
Well, we've talked about the second tenure of Joe Gibbs as the Washington Redskins head coach. They're 81 through 92. They sparkling regular season record, 5 below 500 now. The 16 playoff wins, including 3 Super Bowl wins and 1 Super Bowl loss with a terrific team. But the Redskins twice in this second time around for Joe Gibbs have finished at the bottom of the ultra-competitive NFC East. And Joe at 66 continues to have that drive and that determination to turn the Redskins back around to where they were during his day when playoffs were regular, not the surprise like their last couple of playoff appearances have been. too high for Moss. Trying to get off the ground. Dawkins brought the pressure.
Boy, we are seeing some erratic quarterback play here this evening, Mike. Once again, Jason Campbell reads the blitz. Jim Johnson, the defensive coordinator from the Eagles, turning up the pressure right now. You get a chance to make a play, you've got to get this one once again down the belt buckle to Santana Moss. The high throw from Jason Campbell this time.
There he is. Jim Johnson brought both safeties that time, Quentin Michael and Brian Dawkins.
And Jim will dial up the pressure.
Just 4 this time. They're back covering in his zone. Moss catches, sprints for the sideline and the marker. And he is at both. Gets out of bounds. Ball laid right on the midfield stripe. Should be enough for a first down with 51 seconds to go. They'll measure.
And in William James, the corner on that side must understand the situation. Defend that first down yardage. He went a little bit back to the inside, and you got to be careful. Just squeeze. There's enough room to squeeze to that sideline. You'll see James, number 21, right there. He's coming in with the motion. Stay right there. Don't back up. Now he backs up right there because he's got the corner behind him. That gives Santana Moss just enough room to get to the sideline. The design of the route, Mike, had that little bow out to the corner behind him. He was worried about that one. Expanded just a hair too much.
The clasp that keeps the links to the bottom of the chain. That's short with 51 seconds left. Santana Moss, who had 3 catches and 2 drops last week, already with 4 grabs. And that average of 18.5, he has the highest per catch average of all the active players in the NFL. So Santana has been known for hitting the deep balls. Not just here in Washington, but his days with the Jets as well. 4 years with New York.
This Washington offense is very dynamic, and I always look at dimensions that an offense has. Yes, they can run the football, and you know they're going to run the football with Clinton Portis and Del Betts. They have an outstanding receiving tight end in Chris Cooley. You look at their wide receivers, Santana Moss and Randall L. They have every dimension that a quarterback would love to have at his disposal. Unfortunately for the Redskins right now, their offensive line, particularly the right side, is being decimated by injuries.
And they like to run some of these short yardage plays to the right. As we told you, John Jansen injured last week, out for the season. Todd Wade is the starter over there now. And the right guard, Randy Thomas, tore his tricep in the first quarter. Jason Fabini's on that side now.
Gutsy call by Joe Gibbs. First down.
Here on 3rd and a yard, they get it, and they'll take the timeout because it'll take another 10 seconds to umpile the bodies. So Washington out of timeouts, 46 seconds left at the 49-yard line. In this division, Dallas is, it's early, but they had a very blatant show of their high-powered offense against the Giants in Week 1. They beat Miami yesterday, so Dallas sitting at 2-0. Washington trying to join them there. Philadelphia trying to avoid going to 0-2 where the Giants are, and it does not look good right now for Eli and the Giants. Meantime, these quarterbacks thus far tonight, as you said, Ron, uneven play.
No question. Very erratic quarterback play this evening. You see Jason Campbell at 50%. Donovan McNabb just a little bit over 50%. Except for the big play from Jason Campbell, we have not seen any explosive plays. Both of these coaches offensively like to design those big plays, those explosive plays. We've only seen one here with 46 seconds to go in the first half.
Campbell will operate out of the shotgun. It's the 4-man rush. The throw is caught. Moss working the sideline nicely. They're down to the 38-yard line.
And the Redskins are doing an outstanding job this evening of working the sideline. You know why? You got a quarterback with a big, strong arm that can rotate it to the sideline. Take advantage of that. The mistakes in these situations, these nickel situations, usually come toward the middle of the field when those linebackers are taking deep drops. Work the sideline. The Eagles, of course, like to force them inside because the Redskins have 0 timeouts. Let the clock go tick, 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 as our friend Boomer says.
Closing in on Sean Sweezum's field goal range. Campbell has room to run. Ton of room. And the sideline. Got a good block as well. And Campbell stays on his feet until he's tripped up. Right around the 15-yard line. Stepped out of bounds back at the 18. But Santana Moss downfield with a big block on a 20-yard first down run.
Outstanding job by Jason Campbell here. He reads the man-to-man coverage. quarterbacks understand when it's man-to-man, those defensive backs and linebackers turn their back. He has a lot of green grass in front of him. Jason Campbell does a nice job of understanding the coverage scheme of the Eagles. When he gets pressured out of the pocket, oh, he sees room and takes it.
A 20-yard run is the longest against the Eagles this year. Washington in field goal range, out of timeouts. Campbell's throw caught by Randall L., who fakes going out of bounds, puts his head down, and is spun down at the 1. Still in bounds, clock running. And Campbell will kill it here.
No need to panic in this situation.
Now they stopped the clock. Now they restart it. Interesting.
Spike the ball.
So the Redskins stop it with 14. Randall L., almost like he was going to go inside, then going to go out of bounds, and was able to get more yards.
Randall L. is a very gifted athlete. You get him in space, he'll present a lot of problems for you. Now the anticipation here is always going to go out of bounds. You see Sheldon almost broke an ankle right there. Sheldon Brown missed on the tackle. William James comes in, just gets Randall L. out of bounds just inside that big old orange pylon. Gives the Redskins a first down just inside the 2-yard line.
And with his shoulder coming down inbounds and then he rolled out, correctly ruled to be inbounds. And I was surprised that they even stopped the clock there for a couple of seconds. Now the play clock is down at 4 seconds. Washington doesn't have a timeout, and they're going to get a delay of game here. Wow. Wow, the Redskins are happy. They were asking for a reset in the play clock.
Offense, 5-yard penalty.
Now, if the play clock was done properly, and I thought it was, then that one's got to be on the sideline for not getting goal line personnel in quick enough.
Mike, you're absolutely right. That is a coaching error right there. You've got all the time in the world to get your proper personnel package on the field.
Now, do you want to kick the field goal here with 14 seconds? Because if you run a play and end up in bounds, it's going to be hard to scramble your field goal unit on.
You're right on the cusp of scrambling and spiking the football here with 14 seconds, depending on how deep you go in the end zone, Mike. But I think you could take your shot at throwing to the end zone. The fade or the quick slant might be available, that little seam right down the hash marks.
The field goal unit at the ready to sprint on. And another flag. Kill the play and drop him back 5 more. You might just kick the field goal here.
Yeah, last 2 plays have been disastrous for the Washington Redskins. You get down inside the 2.
False start. 69. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Jason Fabini, who's in for the injured Randy Thomas, moves there.
First 2 Washington penalties. They're going to bring the field goal unit out now. Here's what was going on. You see the play clock upper right corner there, 10 or upper middle right, if you will. And here they are. They're looking back. Nobody's got an idea. Campbell's still waiting for the play to come in. He said, come on, guys, let's go. And so that clock did reset. Remember I said that they had stopped the clock momentarily? And there you see that play clock running out for the delay of game. I think they were confused once they saw the game clock stop for a second.
Mike, coaching error. Coaching error. That's simple. It shouldn't happen.
Sweezum will be frozen by Reed as a timeout is called.
I believe I saw this happen yesterday somewhere, like Oakland, Denver.
We talk about the end of the Oakland-Denver game
Yes.
where Mike Shanahan froze Sebastian Janikowski. The timeout was acknowledged and called. Janikowski still went through, as the players all thought. Shanahan's brilliant at waiting until the last second, using the rule that's been in 2 years. The coach can call the timeout. Janikowski made the 50-plus yard field goal, but the timeout was granted, then missed it. Elam comes back for the 2nd game in a row, makes a field goal, and they win the game. And now, Jaws, with further review, Gibbs will bring the offense back out and run a play to the end zone.
A very bizarre turn of events here, Mike. Very bizarre.
Man, a lot's happened since 1st and goal at the 2. Right? On that play where the clock.
Is Tony still around? What's he missing? He's missing a lot of good stuff here, you know?
Preparing for PTI with Wilbon at the half. All right, no timeouts, Redskins. 14 seconds left. Portis, the running back next to Campbell. Movement again by Fabini, the right guard, who's subbing in.
False start. 69. Off. Second down.
Randy Thomas tore tricep in the first half, and you see that the movement by the Eagles kind of got Fabini to not be able to hold his water anymore.
Well, you got to hold your water in that situation. You're going to have people moving. You're going to have defensive linemen barking out their own signals. You got to concentrate on your quarterback's voice.
That can be called a delay of game for pretending like you're going to rush, but not there. Campbell lofting for Cooley in the end zone. Hold on. Touchdown, Washington. Chris Cooley, the tight end.
What a throw.
With Brian Dawkins and Joselio Hansen covering, the Redskins score the first touchdown against the Philadelphia defense in 06.
Chris Cooley from the slot on the inside breaks it to the corner. What a terrific throw by Jason Campbell. You see Brian Dawkins trying to get over the top. William James probably, I'm sorry, it's Joselio Hansen probably jump thrashing the goal line area there and allowed that little lane for Jason Campbell to squeeze it in.
So now Sweezum does come on, but it's to add the extra point. And the Redskins, who shot themselves in the foot so often that the gun was empty. So they come back and get the touchdown to Cooley, who is a guy that Philadelphia was focused on all week. They had periods in practice where they were just talking about covering 47. Well, burns him there, and Michelle, Cooley's touchdown gives Washington a 4-point lead.
Well, and you know that Chris Cooley and Jason Campbell are thrilled with this. They work together so hard in the offseason on timing routes, just running route after route after route. I asked Chris Cooley about it. He said, we're very comfortable about an 8 on a scale of 1 to 10. He said, it's more important that Jason is comfortable throwing to me and knowing that I'm going to be in the place I'm supposed to be. I don't need to be comfortable with Jason. He needs to be comfortable with me, and on that play, Mike, he was.
And Michelle, it's so funny. You're talking about 8 million things that happen to get your record at the end of the year. If Andy Reid doesn't call timeout to freeze the kicker, it's 6-6 in all likelihood, right?
At worst for the Eagles, 6-6, yeah.
Well, since Jason Campbell became the quarterback, Chris Cooley was his favorite target. 30 catches, 411 yards, 3 touchdowns, the most that Campbell threw to any Redskin player during that stretch at the end of last year. And Cooley, who got a contract extension right before the season started, able to complete that 73-yard drive with the score.
And Mike, that was his first touchdown in the last 6 games against the Eagles.
Terrell Buckhalter with the return to the 34-yard line. That'll leave only 2 seconds on the clock. Let's follow Chris Cooley with our player tracks his path to the end zone.
Beautiful corner out by Chris Cooley right here. Sticks to the inside to Brian Dawkins. Excellent throw by Jason Campbell, but Joselio Hansen must get back the corner. He must defend the deep route. He comes in too late, can't strip the ball out of Chris Cooley's hand. You can give any throw you want before the receiver gets to that goal line. Joselio Hansen on the outside allowed Chris Cooley to get behind him. Brian Dawkins played that inside leverage like he had the outside help. Leads me to believe that Hansen should have been peeking back in the backfield, not jumping James Thrash around the 2 or 3 yard line. Great throw, though.
We see the value all over the league of tight ends, especially for young quarterbacks. And Al Saunders, as we talk about the offensive guru, coordinator with the 700-page playbook for Washington, he used Tony Gonzalez so well in Kansas City, and Cooley's in a lot of tight end stuff here. So 2 seconds left for the Eagles from the 35, and McNabb will just hand it off. I'm sure that will thrill the fans as we get to the end of the first half. Here at the Link, Redskins 10, Eagles 6. Philly gets the ball to start the third. Here's Chris Berman with the Lexus halftime show.
All right, Michael, thank you. Both the Washington Nationals and Philadelphia Phillies outscoring their football brethren tonight, but at least the Skins finally get to double digits. 2 weeks into the season, and after a Sunday of watching the underdogs play awfully well, to quote Don Henley, the more we know, the less we understand. I mean, we are watching the Eagles tonight after all. I mean, the Cleveland Browns, 51 points in a game with 11 touchdown passes. But then there's the New England Patriots. Whoa. We begin our fastest 3 minutes in Foxborough Sunday night, where Bill Belichick and the Patriots kept their eye on the task. Owner Robert Kraft, despite everything swirling, kept his eye on the team. And boy, the San Diego Chargers didn't like what they saw. Tom Brady to Ben Watson, Brady to Randy Moss. And then the defense. Adales Thomas picks off Phillip Rivers. He could go all the way. 38-14, 2 straight weeks. Patriots win. The Colts stay 2-0. Peyton Manning to Dallas Clark, big league at Tennessee. But Vince Young to Roydale Williams. Titans thinking upset. Can Young pull a rabbit out of the hat? He trying on 4th down, and whoop! And there goes the ball, then whoop! And the Colts win it 22-20. Brett Favre is the leader of the pack. 149 regular season wins, that's the most. Lob to Donald Lee, and a bullet to Donald Driver. The pack, 2-0, they roll the Giants 35-13. Also 2-0, the Lions. How are they doing it? Roy Williams, starring as the Headless Horseman, Ichabod Crane, and John Kitna, completing passes to himself. He does it. And the Lions go to overtime against the Vikings, where their longest guy, Jason Hanson, 37-yarder Detroit, wins in overtime. They're 2-0, 2 down, 8 to go for Kitna. Gary Kubiak, Matt Stump the Shab, surprising Houston Texans. They're 2-0. Andre Johnson caught a pair as the Texans come from behind to fell Carolina 34-21. And the 49ers, Frank Gore, Mike Nolan gambling on 4th and 1. Gore, 43 yards. His mom, Liz, passed away this week. And Frank Gore honored her with a long touchdown. And the Niners are 2-0. They beat the Rams 17-16. Now, the 11 touchdown passes. Are you kidding me? Carson Palmer had 6 for Cincinnati. That's Rudy. We're going to show you all of them. Here's one. Derek Anderson to Joe Jurevicius. Here's Cleveland. Now here's Palmer. Do you say Hushmanzada? I say Hushmanzada. Was I in? Don't tell anybody. Then, here comes number 4. Derek Anderson to Jurevicius. Cleveland back on top. Then here comes Palmer to Chad Johnson. Bengals. Now here comes Anderson to Kellen Winslow. Ding, ring up another one. Then here comes number 7, Anderson to Braylon Edwards. Ring up another one. Then Palmer to Chad Johnson. And he learns what beer tastes like in Cleveland. But wait a minute. Whoa. I don't get some. A run? How did Jamal Lewis get in here? He's loose for 66 yards. What? What about the touchdown passes? Wait a minute. Here's number 9, Palmer to Hushmanzada. Then 10, Anderson to Edwards. And then 11, Palmer to Glenn Holt. But in the end, it was Romeo Crennel and the Browns in a TKO, outlasting the Bengals. Yikes. Jason Campbell, big scramble, setting the Redskins up late in the half to score the only touchdown. Back in 30 seconds with part of the interruption.
This halftime show is presented by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection.
Fast is violent. Fast is gritty. Fast is explosive. This is the new Fast, the 438 horsepower hybrid, the LS 600H. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Welcome back to the Lexus Halftime Show.
Welcome back to the link here in Philadelphia. More good news concerning the Bills' Kevin Everett. Doctors reported that Everett has movement in both of his hands today and greater strength in his leg muscles. The Buffalo tight end remains medically stable in intensive care. In other news, baseball, big night for the Big Hurt in Toronto, north of the border. Red Sox, Blue Jays, Frank Thomas, Big Hurt. Booyah! ×3. The 5th guy in the majors this year with 3 home runs in a game. Blue Jays win it 6-1. Big Hurt now 512 career home runs, tied for 18th all-time with Ernie Banks and Eddie Matthews, a couple of old school guys, which is a perfect segue to Kornheiser and Wilbon. Our PTI guys just breathe old school.
Welcome to the little shorty version of PTI. Okay, Wilbon. Brian Billick says the Jets were illegally simulating the snap count yesterday, an offense that needs to be caught. Is the spy cam case turning coaches into whiners?
You mean bigger whiners? Coaches, head coaches in the NFL whine all the time anyway, but let me say Brian Billick is right about this, Tony. Simulating the snap count is a penalty, so you know what they can do? Call it.
simulating the snap count is so terrible. In other words, people making noise doesn't work. This is the action of coaches who want to say any game we lose is not our fault, even though they won the game. And by the way, why are the Jets always involved in something with this?
I don't know, Tony, but let's go to O.J. Simpson, who's in jail for allegedly attempting to steal what may have been his own memorabilia. Is this big news?
Sadly, it is, because O.J. is the most notorious person pretty much of our time. I can't believe that O.J. would have a gun in his hand. That is instant jail. But a commando raid to get your shoes back, to get your shirt back?
I'm just tired of hearing about O.J. from O.J. He should be like Tom Hanks in the movie Castaway. Can we find an island and just ship O.J. off? He can fashion his own golf clubs and just play until his heart's content away from us.
Let's move to college football. Notre Dame is 0-3 after getting shellacked by Michigan. Wilbon, everyone knows you hate Notre Dame. Should Charlie Weiss be in trouble now?
Let me get this straight. A guy who started the season with a record of 16-6 in 2 seasons, he should be in trouble. Look, the Notre Dame people better ratchet down their expectations. This is not the 1950s where 8 or 10 schools can just
Ty Willingham was in trouble. If Ty Willingham was 0-3, people would say buy him out. Why not Charlie Weiss?
10-year contract, Tony. It's not going to happen, and it shouldn't happen. Why sign him to a 10-year contract if you want to get rid of him because he has one bad season? That's insane.
They have no touchdowns.
No touchdowns is right. The fashion designer who bought Barry Bonds' record breaker for $750,000 wants fans to decide whether he should give it to the Hall, brand it with an asterisk, or blast it into space. Tone, what would you do?
Yeah, if they blast it into space, they should blast this fashion designer into space with it. Whether you like Barry Bonds or not, this is a historic home run ball. This isn't the Bart Mann ball where all of Chicago wanted it blown up. This should be in Cooperstown, maybe with an asterisk, but not blown up.
All we've talked about since 1998 is home run balls. Everybody's lost track. There are no more magic numbers. Blow the thing up.
It's a big deal. Blow you up. That's the bell. We're done.
Stay in school, knuckleheads.
Respect your elders, you punks.
Both Wilbon and Kornheiser are just blowing up, kind of like the Redskins to end the half. Campbell to Cooley. Skins up over the hometown Eagles 10-6. We're coming right back.
The ability to recognize and react to a threat. This is pre-collision intelligence. This is the pursuit of perfection.
This halftime show is presented by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection.
Welcome back, everybody, and a happy 80th birthday to the venerable one, George Blandon. Now, tonight's play caller. Did you perfectly predict the first half? Log on to ESPN.com, keyword play caller, to play along in the second half and make your own picks. Second half coming up after this short timeout. Skins, Lady Eagles.
Winning is everything. Suddenly, it's just not true anymore. Not now. What matters is that we keep this program alive.
They left this to us. It's on our shoulders.
When you take that field, lay their heart on the line. If you do that, we cannot be defeated.
We are Marshall. Coming to DirecTV September 18th.
This is Jan's new home. And this is Jan after finding out that DirecTV will be paying her mortgage for a whole year. Why is Jan so lucky? Because she called this number before she moved and was automatically entered into the DirecTV Home Free Sweepstakes. Now she's living mortgage-free for a whole year. Are you thinking about moving? Call prior to your big day and you could be living mortgage or rent-free too. Lucky for you, there's a new winner every month. It's enough to make you jump for joy.
For great college football from across the country, you need ESPN Game
Plan from DirecTV. Covering many of the best teams and conferences, ESPN Game Plan has up to 12 games every Saturday from outside your local area. Order now by calling 1-800-GET-SPORTS for a full season of great college football with ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. Only 2 payments of $64.50. Order now at 1-800-GET-SPORTS or go to directv.com/gameplan.
Ride shotgun with top NASCAR drivers with NASCAR Hot Pass.
The inside, behind the scenes opportunity week in and week out.
Race to race, watch 5 dedicated driver channels. Cameras from every angle. Live team audio between crew chief and driver.
Yeah, just go up another half.
You just can't get this coverage anywhere else.
This is the next generation of getting closer to the action.
Get the Chase for the Cup offer only on NASCAR Hot Pass. Just $19.99, exclusively from DirecTV.
NASCAR Hot Pass. Best seat in the house.
2 explosive light heavyweight strikers go to war to get back on the path to a world title shot. Former champion Chuck the Iceman Liddell takes on the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, in a clash both expect to win by knockout. Also, the UFC debut of Pride superstar Mauricio Shogun Hua as he battles Forrest Griffin. And winner of 13 straight fights, John Fitch, takes on Diego Nightmare Sanchez. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 76 Knockout, live Saturday, September 22nd from Honda Center in Anaheim, California on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Got any aspirin? I think I pulled a delt. Yeah. It's a casual top for work, don't you think? Beep, beep. There it is. No, I can get a ride. Oops.
Yoga.
At least you can keep your heartburn from coming back with Prilosec OTC, the only OTC heartburn remedy that works to block heartburn before it begins for 24 hours with 1 pill a day. Try Prilosec OTC, the round-the-clock heartburn blocker.
Crowd's not really psyched right now. They're a little sour, if you want to know the truth.
Trust me, they are angry. Sour, you're being nice. They are angry.
Third quarter from Philadelphia, week 2 of Monday Night Football with Ron Jaworski, Tony Kornheiser, Michelle Tafoya, Susie Colbert on the sideline, Mike Tirico, 10-6. Joe Gibbs, Redskins scoring a touchdown, the second to last snap of the second quarter, and Philadelphia will receive to start the third.
I went out for the 2-minute drill to get ready for PTI, and 40 minutes later we were on. What was that?
Terrell Buckhalter from the 7. Good left returns here tonight. Tripped up on the way through at the 34-yard line. It was a struggle, Ron, for Donovan McNabb in that first half.
No question about it, and his receivers didn't help. Let me show you what I mean. You'll see Donovan right here. He's at the top of his drop right here, ready to deliver the football. Look at his receivers. They're like Velcro, nowhere to go with the football. Now, here's what Donovan does best. Gets out of the pocket, allows his receivers to uncover as he gets out of the pocket. You see he delivers a strike for a first down to Jason Avant. Donovan does a good job outside the pocket, allowing his receivers to get open.
You see that, Ron? Only 1 completion for more than 8 yards, even though they were spreading the ball around in the first half. Number 33, a run left with Westbrook. London Fletcher chases him down. It was a gain of 5, and Susie Colbert has the halftime story on the Philly side.
Well, this was a dejected-looking team as they made their way up the tunnel into the locker room. Remember, they're coming off a loss as well. They were silent. They were heads down. A couple of assistant coaches trying to get the team going, yelling. Not one player, well, only one player did respond, and that was their first pick, rookie quarterback Kevin Cobb. He was the only player who was responding, clapping, and yelling encouragement.
Cobb, the second-round pick out of Houston, whose arrival has raised the question of how long Donovan McNabb is going to be the face of the franchise here in Philly. It's McNabb's toss. Dropped by Kevin Curtis and incomplete. We'll have third down coming up.
Jules, I got to get to something with you. I mean, when you look at Donovan McNabb, if his receivers never get open and he no longer
Well, they never say never.
Okay, but if they rarely get open and he doesn't have great wide receivers. Terrell Owens was his one great wide receiver. That didn't work out. And he is reluctant to run. He does not like to run. What's he supposed to do?
Well, then you have to, this is where coaching comes into play. Run some motion with those wide receivers so they're not able to bump and run to the line of scrimmage. Do some things to free them up.
Look at it, all 10 of the 11 Redskins are within 5 yards of the line. McNabb is blitzed, the pass is incomplete, it's fourth down. The Eagles wanted contact. These people want
blood
change. And LaRon Landry, the first-round pick, the rookie from Washington, brought the safety pressure.
Yeah, and Donovan is struggling with his accuracy. You'll see he's got a receiver open here. The ball is over Reggie Brown and behind him. Once again, got to keep the ball down low in the red zone. Here it is, high to Hank Basket. A square in route, open to Kevin Curtis, throws behind him. Right now, Donovan is struggling with his action. I'll tell you, these fans know it as well.
McNabb has missed his last 5 passes. Rocca with the kick, just a good one. Really got into it. 56 yards, sending Randall back to the 6. And he gets the most out of that return to the 14-yard line. So a long field for Washington as McNabb and the Eagles offense is struggling. A guy who knows all about dealing with the star pressure and spotlight of Philadelphia. Charles Barkley joins us in the booth after this.
It's the GMC Summer Sell Down on a great selection of 07 models. Now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months on any all-new 07 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab. That's 5 years of interest-free financing for an average finance savings of over $6,500. It's time to break through to professional grade at the GMC Summer Sell Down. See the pros at your local GMC dealers.
You'll love this. Watch. The mirrors make bigger, better.
Well, it's fast, it's sharp, it's big, but they got rules. It's amazing.
It's the mirrors.
DLP HD TV. Millions of tiny mirrors make the biggest pictures better.
Save big with 2-year no-interest financing at Best Buy on DLP HD TVs.
Let's check out who's in my little brother's faves. It's all animals, dude. A horse, a chicken, a turtle, some like a giraffe. Look at this giraffe, dude. All right, which one of you loses the pig?
Who's in your faves? With my faves, each family member gets unlimited calls to any 5 people. And that's to any number, even landlines. T-Mobile, stick together.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by GMC, official vehicle of the NFL and proud supporter of those who wanted more. DLP, it's amazing. It's the mirrors. DLP HD TV is an official ESPN HD sponsor. T-Mobile, stick together. And UPS, what can Brown do for you?
Washington had 6 drives in that first half. Third drive, a 5-play field goal drive. Last drive, a 10-play touchdown drive. They've sustained offense better than Philadelphia has. Fans down at this end urge the Eagles defense on against Jason Campbell in his 3rd year and 9th start of his NFL career. From the 14, Portis to the right. Gains 4. Here's Michelle Tafoya on the Redskins.
Mike, I spoke with Joe Gibbs after halftime. I asked him what he felt about the first half. He said, we missed some things in the passing game, but he was proud of the way his team finally found a way to score that touchdown. I asked how Jason Campbell could improve in the second half, and he said he thinks the touchdown pass to Chris Cooley was, quote, a great play that should settle Jason down. We'll see, Mike.
It was a beautiful 16-yard throw after Andy Reid called timeout. Froze the kicker who was on the field, and Gibbs and the Redskins brought Campbell and the offense back out. Portis for a couple. Campbell, the quarterback, is from Auburn. Another person from Auburn.
Well, we don't want to talk about Auburn right now.
Why not? Because they lost a couple of games?
We're struggling right now. And we haven't even got to the real SEC yet. That's what's scary.
Charles Barkley's here, by the way. Hello.
Hey, thank y'all. Thank y'all for having me.
Well, you were so good last year by popular demand. It was you or Christian Slater. We just bring you back.
Well, if you're in Arizona or Philadelphia, I want to make an appearance.
Hey, well, we got you. We're glad we have you here. We have 3rd and 3 coming up for Campbell and the Redskins. The throw to Antoine Randall. Taken out of bounds by Sheldon Brown, but the drive stays alive.
That was a big-time NFL throw. Press man-to-man coverage on the outside. Jason Campbell with great anticipation. Throws to the outside shoulder. That'll move the chains. You see this. This ball comes out of his hand. Tony, as I like to say, he's rotating the spheroid right now.
That was fabulous, really, rotating the spheroid.
Charles, you like that one?
Well, you know, first of all, he's from Auburn, so I'm kind of torn tonight. I'm pulling for the Eagles, but I want Jason to play well.
Well, make a decision.
Well, I'm going for the home team. I live in Philadelphia.
Of course you're going for the home team, as is Jaws. Of course. I'm going to sandwich between 2 Philadelphia icons.
Tony, you got no idea how brutal the fans are when you don't root for their team all the time.
Campbell takes off and picks up a 1st down away from Omar Gaither out to the 43-yard line.
Let's get to that. Let's get to that, how brutal the fans can be. Donovan McNabb not having a good night. He's got tenure here. He's got stature here. You had this, Chuck. You had this, Jaws. What are the fans thinking about right now with Donovan McNabb?
Well, if he don't win, he's going to have to go.
Tonight?
No, one thing about here, if you don't win, they're going to boo you. I always tell people, it's not right, it's not wrong. That's just how it is. If the Eagles don't win, Donovan's going to get the blame, especially offensively. That's just how it is. You can't take it personally. That's just how it is.
Did you ever take it personally when they booed you?
I did.
How did you learn not to?
I did not. Because, like, first of all, I always tell people, everybody is human. You can say, well, I don't read. First of all athletes lie. We say we don't read the newspaper and we don't watch television. Of course we do. What the hell else are you going to do at home? You read the newspaper and you watch television. You take it personally.
2nd and 9 after the 1-yard run for Liddell Betts. He's in there spelling Clinton Portis, and we had movement over by Samuels and Kendall, the left side of the line.
Ball start, 45, offense, 5-yard penalty.
Let me stay with that, with Donovan. Has he not earned, over all these years, 4 NFC championship games, 1 Super Bowl, has he not earned some long-time grace period?
He has, but one thing I've been very critical of the Philadelphia fans. I don't think they've given, first of all, Andy Reid and Donovan the respect they deserve. But unfortunately, in the 24-hour news cycle of today, what have you done for me lately? That's just how it is. They both earn that, but they're not going to get it here.
And that's how we open the show tonight. This is not a forgiving city. This is a what have you done lately city.
But they like you. That when your picture, Jaws, when your picture goes on the big screen, people cheer you. Chuck, when you walked in here, people cheered you.
When I played here, I made the All-Star team 8 straight years, and they booed the hell out of me. I'm like, what more can I do? I'm doing, like, that's just how it is. You don't take it personally. The quarterback, first of all, Donovan is by far and away the most popular player on this team. He is going to get the blame. That's just how it is, Tony. It ain't right. It ain't wrong. That's just how it is.
3rd and 14. They have to get to the Eagle 47 for the 1st down. Against a 4-man rush, Campbell stands tall through the hands of Santana Moss, and incomplete, and Washington will kick the ball to the Eagles. Derek Frost will punt it away. And Reno Mahe, who was back home in Utah a week ago, back deep to receive now. Good kick, 53 yards. Mahe from the 8. He's not the explosive return guy. That's why they were looking to replace him with Jeremy Bloom, among others, but he can catch the ball, and that's what the Eagles need right now. More with Barkley, who's lived through what Donovan's going through here in this city. One of the toughest cities to survive as an athlete in America.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Washington State, USC, or Iowa, Wisconsin. Saturday at 8 Eastern.
Winning is everything. Suddenly, it's just not true anymore. Not now. What matters is that we keep this program alive.
They left this to us. It's on our shoulders.
When you take that field, lay it hard on the line. If you do that, we cannot be defeated.
We are Marshall. Coming to DirecTV September 18th.
This is Jan's new home. And this is Jan after finding out that DirecTV will be paying her mortgage for a whole year. Why is Jan so lucky? Because she called this number before she moved and was automatically entered into the DirecTV Home Free Sweepstakes. Now she's living mortgage-free for a whole year. Are you thinking about moving? Call prior to your big day and you could be living mortgage or rent-free too. Lucky for you, there's a new winner every month. It's enough to make you jump for joy.
For great college football from across the country, you need ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. Covering many of the best teams and conferences, ESPN Game Plan has up to 12 games every Saturday from outside your local area. Order now by calling 1-800-GET-SPORTS for a full season of great college football with ESPN Game Plan from DirecTV. Only 2 payments of $64.50. Order now at 1-800-GET-SPORTS or go to directv.com/gameplan.
With Charles Barkley here in the booth watching Donovan McNabb and an Eagles offense that is struggling. 35 plays, 150 yards, 6 first downs on the night, trailing Washington by 4. And a run left for about a yard or so by Brian Westbrook. And guys, we've talked about this and we saw it right at the beginning, the open of our show. The history of Donovan McNabb comes out as the number 2 pick. The fans boo at the draft. They wanted Ricky Williams. You go through the controversies.
That worked out good for him.
Yeah, it worked out better than Ricky Williams has worked out in the NFL. You go through the other controversies. That Freddie Mitchell kind of criticizing Donovan for being more of a management guy than a player's guy in the locker room. Then, of course, you have the Rush Limbaugh incident when Rush Limbaugh was on Sunday NFL Countdown on ESPN and brought up the whole black quarterback issue with McNabb and everybody wanting a black quarterback to succeed. That was caught, then dropped by Avant at the 20-yard line, picked up by Washington. No whistle or signal has yet happened. Now let's see what this play is going to be ruled. Because once the recovery happened, if it was a fumble,
this is where I think instant replay is great in sports.
Pearson Prelo has never touched down. I don't know if he was touched down. They say it's a catch, a fumble by Avant, a Redskin recovery. So let's get a look at it here on replay.
You see Donovan squeezes it in. There's the catch. He does have possession of the football.
On the field is a catch, fumble, recovered by the defense.
He's down.
Down by contact. Defense ball, first down.
That will be challenged.
See, that's why I think instant replay is great in sports, because officials never want to admit it. They do make mistakes. That's great for the Eagles right there.
Let's see. You can see it right there. Jason has the ball, still in possession. Knee is down. It'll be Eagles ball right there. Charles is right.
Come on, Mike. You can see his knee is down.
Well, I'm watching very carefully to see, is the ball starting to come out here before the knee goes down?
His knee is down. The ball is not moving.
I'm just wondering how the fans are going to blame McNabb for that, Chuck.
You know, Tony, it's really funny because I have been critical of the Eagles fans and Philadelphia because, number one, I don't think, like I say, I'm going to be redundant. Andy Reid and Donovan McNabb have been fantastic for Philadelphia, and I got much love for Peyton Manning. But up until last year, Donovan McNabb had actually been more successful than Peyton Manning. In
terms of getting to the Super Bowl.
Getting to NFC Championship games also. And they don't treat Donovan like that here. And I have a problem with that because he has been fantastic.
Bill Carollo, the referee, going inside the voters' booth to look now at the replay. As
Let's hope he's not a Republican. Charles, I'm sorry.
Stop. Are you running for governor again? You go back and forth every month.
No, I'm going to win in 2014. I just bought my mom's house. I gave her $1 for it.
In 2014?
2014.
Yes. Yeah. So you have to live in Alabama for 7 years.
Oh, okay.
I told my mom I want to buy a house for $1.
And do now you get the residency since 2014.
Yes.
So she really drove a hard bargain, huh?
Well, she had two choices. She had two choices. She could either sell it to me or I could fire her. it was either A or B.
Of course.
First of all, I bought the house anyway.
So good for you.
Okay, thank you.
Getting ready to see Charles as the basketball season comes up on TNT and their NBA coverage, and we all get to cross paths during the year, about a month away from that.
Let me get back to this as long as we're waiting for this. Donovan McNabb, do you expect, you probably know, as does Jaws, when the city turns and you pass the tipping point. Do you expect Donovan McNabb back in Philadelphia next year?
It depends on, number one, if he's healthy and what kind of season he has. I mean, because first of all, if they're booing him in the first quarter, they've turned. He has earned, like you said, he's earned the right to get more respect than that. But if they turned on him in the first quarter, it's already turned.
When did you know? When did you say, I've got to get out now?
Well, 2 years before I got out. That's the mistake I made in my career. I should have got out 2 years sooner. That's the mistake I made. I got traded 2 years later, but I should have demanded a trade 2 years sooner.
What did you ask from management to keep you?
I didn't want anything. I just wanted some help. I told them, Shaquille was coming out in the draft, and I said, I want Shaq. And they got me Charles Shackelford.
Wrong Shaq.
Wrong one. It didn't work out.
Were you specific about which Shaq you
I just
wanted?
said I want Shaq.
All right, Bill Carolla now has the review done. Let's see if, in fact, it will remain with the Eagles. This is a Philadelphia challenge of the ruling on the field that it was a fumble.
After reviewing the play, it's been determined the receiver caught the ball, possessed it, and was down by contact for a first down. Philadelphia is not charged with a timeout. The play is reversed. First down.
So the Eagles do have one more challenge. Unless that one is successful, then they would buy themselves a third challenge.
I don't understand why people complain about instant replay.
Who complains?
No, but I'm saying, I think instant replay is one of the greatest thing ever happened to sports, because referees are human. Most of them are fantastic, but sometimes they miss a play. And that, not just because I'm pulling for the Eagles, they deserve to get the game right.
Just say, Carollo said it was recovered for a first down. That's incorrect. It should be 3rd and 4 at the 19-yard line, in which you see on the screen there. So he said first down. That was wrong. They're going to get that straightened out as well.
And the big
We'll double check the down by contact.
Just to check the spot of where it happened.
I'm glad you guys are addressing the Donovan McNabb, and I also always want to factor in Andy Reid, because I don't think those guys get the credit they deserve for what they've done. The Eagles have been a legit contender for the last 5 or 6 years. And if you play sports 100 years, that's really only 5 or 6 years where you're going to have a legit chance to win. And what they've done here has been fantastic.
Well, one of the problems for this team has been, you want to say the supporting cast, and that's too critical because Westbrook is good.
It's the 19-yard line, 3rd down.
And 4. It's the running back with Westbrook has improved. The defense has always had good plays. It's been the wide receivers that it may have been the thing that has held this team back. The 1 year that they had T.O.,
they made it to the Super Bowl.
They got to the Super Bowl. Owens was gone for the end because of the injury, but came back in the Super Bowl.
But why does the star get all the blame? That's the one problem I have with sports. Whether you're Kevin Garnett or somebody like that, why do you get the blame when you're a great player?
After that long wait, here is the 3rd and 4. McNabb looking for something open. Nobody's open, and he'll go down and get sacked back at the 11-yard line. Rocky McIntosh, the second-year man out of Miami, who's making a name for himself with his play the last couple of weeks.
Once again, the Redskins secondary in press, man-to-man coverage, jam bumping around the line of scrimmage. Receivers not winning. Donovan looking right, looking left. Nothing open. Nowhere to go with the football. Check the receivers out. Where's the window? Oh, you might have a little window to squeeze that one in. By that time, Donovan was running out of the pocket. Not a good enough job by the wide receivers to win quick.
David Macklin was also back there on coverage. The Rocca kick caught by Randall at the 42. Got a nice block to get to midfield, and he's spilled there. Matt McCoy, a backup linebacker, made the tackle. Other big news around the NFL this week, including the Bill Belichick videotape issue with the Patriots. We'll ask Charles about that when we come back.
What's behind the grill is what matters most. GMC Sierra. We are professional grade.
All right, international shipping. Well, your products are on a plane, ready to go to your customers in Europe to arrive on Friday. But Italy wants it there by noon, Paris early morning, and London late afternoon. Well, if you had a UPS logo, now when your customers ask, you can say, si, oui, and yes. It's not international shipping. It's international shipping with UPS. And you even got a little tailwind.
Customized 39 jersey for St. Louis.
Liner, one throw blanket, Scottsdale. Vinatieri, barbecued Indianapolis.
Hurry to NFL Shop at NFL.com and take delivery of the hottest NFL gear at kickoff special prices until 11 p.m. Eastern tonight.
College Football Live, a new daily show with more highlights, more news, more analysis. Get your daily college football fix right here. Mondays at 2 Eastern on ESPN2, Tuesdays through Fridays at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN.
If you didn't stay up last night, this was the end of the Patriots' demolition of the Chargers. All the the key players around the Patriots going over for more than a nice game coach handshake and welcome for Bill Belichick afterwards, and fans giving him a cheer on the way out in New England as the Patriots were dominant against the Chargers. Of course, Belichick in the center of that swarm regarding the videotaping of signals controversy that was discussed everywhere this past weekend. For the 49, Jason Campbell and Washington take over. Portis into the secondary to the 34-yard line. And the Redskins a bit on the ropes, or the Eagles on the ropes a bit. Gain of 15. Let's take a look at this play.
You'll see the block once again. Mike Sellers leading up inside. Nice hole for Clinton Portis. That downhill running game north and south starting to wear down the Eagles defense.
Shaquille Spikes chasing it down. Brian Dawkins waiting. Portis again into the waiting arms of Spikes and Sean Considine. You know, guys, in watching that Belichick thing last night, you can say a lot about what happened and how wrong it was. It did impress me, and Tom Brady's comments afterwards on the field after the game, how I play for the best coach in the NFL. The players really showed, and they didn't have to, how much they rallied around Bill Belichick in a very difficult week.
In 49 other states, well, maybe Bill Belichick is seen as arrogant and aloof and having cheated. But in that state, in Massachusetts, he's seen as heroic for winning 3 Super Bowls. And his players love him.
2nd and 3, Santana Moss, little hitch, got across the line. First down, Joselio Hansen brings him down at the 21.
Well, I'm kind of biased because Bill Belichick is a friend of mine. And I'd actually like to ask Jaws, because in basketball, we know everybody's plays. You know, like we work on it the day before the game and the other game. Like, we have a scout team run their plays. So, like, I have to ask somebody who's an expert, and I look at Ron as an expert. How would, first of all, obviously he did something wrong. Like I say, Bill is my friend, so I don't have an opinion. But he obviously did something wrong to get fined and lose a draft pick. But, Jaws, why don't you explain to people at home why that would be an advantage?
Portis might throw here.
Touchdown.
No, it wasn't open. He pulls it down and goes down at the 15, gain of 7 yards. He's stretching it out as though to throw.
Well, Charles, first of all, not everyone steals signals, but a lot of teams do. And what you can do is gain an advantage by understanding what the defense is doing by stealing their signal. I will guarantee you this. Every quarterback in this league will complete 75% of his passes if he knows what the defense alignment will be. That's the key. If he can get the signal of what the defense is doing, the quarterback will be very sharp. And I'll give you a real-life example. 1975, I'm with the Rams. We had some of their signals. Because I had their signal, James Harris, our backup quarterback, told me what the defense is going to be. I had a 66-yard touchdown pass to Harold Jackson. In a playoff game, it only takes one opportunity to take advantage of.
Speaking, we shall
check this out.
Jaws, you were born in
don't stop.
1970.
Before this play, James Harris got the signal. He had a red towel in his hand. If the safety was going to vacate center field, he threw the red flag down. As I broke the huddle, I saw Shaq throw the towel down. I knew I had the middle open. I knew I had a touchdown with Harold Jackson.
So what did you think of the penalty?
I don't like the fact that they videotaped, and I think that was all. I hate to say all because a lot of teams go strictly by the rule, but they scout. They watch the signals being given. You know, a lot of people do that.
A timeout here taken by Washington, by the way.
Because it's interesting to me, because like I say, the day of a game and the day before the game, we have a scout team that runs through all the other team plays. We know all their calls. So, like, I'm never shocked.
Chuck, forget that. San Antonio. How many times have we seen San Antonio? Greg Popovich goes like this, 4 down. What does that mean? Get Tim Duncan the ball in the box. It's blatant.
But that's why.
Pick it up.
But that's why I'm asking
technology
Jaws
to do it. I mean, there's a difference. You're picking up their plays because you play against them for so long. There's only a limited amount of plays they have.
Through film
This
study.
is like an eye in the sky. This is technology.
Did you think the penalty fit the crime?
I think I'm in the minority. I think a first-round draft choice is an enormous hit.
I agree with you there, Tony.
It's an enormous hit.
It's a huge penalty for a football team to lose your #1 pick.
Here's a huge play. Philadelphia trailing by 4. Redskins have 3rd and a couple, and a flag is down, killing this play. This play will not count with a pre-snap foul. So even though it was a big play by Spikes in the defense, it's going to be backed up 5.
You know, I watch and listen.
Prior to a snap, ball start, 87. Offense, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
5th procedure penalty on the Redskins.
I watch and listen to you guys. I watch on Sunday because I want to know. I need to know from somebody who actually knows. And Jaws obviously in that situation, what type of advantage that is. Because like I say, in baseball we steal signs, obviously. In basketball, we know all the other teams' plays going into the game. But only somebody who's actually a quarterback especially would know what type of advantage that was.
Stand by for Jaws, 3rd and 7 from the 19. That's Cooley in motion, so dangerous down here. Campbell looks his way and then throws it incomplete as Philly was on the spot for that coverage. Field goal attempt coming to take a 7-point lead.
It is a huge advantage. Like I said, if you know what the defensive alignment will be.
Do other teams do it?
I will not say everyone. I will say the majority of teams attempt to steal your signals, and they're very, very good at it. Now, it's now incumbent on the defensive coordinator who's sending those signals in to change it up, you know, use different people to send the signals in so they can't steal your signals.
Sean Sweezum, 37-yard field goal attempt, good from 35 earlier tonight. 7-point Washington lead, 13-6. Charles will hang with us for a couple more minutes until he gets the ball back to see if their offense can get going.
If I'm going to build my garden around one flower, I'm starting with the Cranes bill.
Whoa, a surprise pick by Emmett.
Get expert analysis on the league's biggest stories. Sunday NFL Countdown, 11 a.m. on ESPN.
Ride shotgun with top NASCAR drivers with NASCAR Hot Pass.
The inside, behind the scenes opportunity week in and week out.
Race to race, watch 5 dedicated driver channels. Cameras from every angle. Live team audio between crew chief and driver.
Yeah, just go up another half.
You just can't get this coverage anywhere else.
This is the next generation of getting closer to the action.
Get the Chase for the Cup offer only on NASCAR Hot Pass. Just $19.99, exclusively from DirecTV.
NASCAR Hot Pass, best seat in the house.
Winning is everything. Suddenly, it's just not true anymore. Not now. What matters is that we keep this program alive.
They left this to us. It's on our shoulders.
When you take that field, lay it hard on the line. If you do that, we cannot be defeated.
We are Marshall.
Coming to DirecTV September 18th.
Today.
Well, Philadelphia this quarter 7 net yards, 0 first downs. Yet they are within 7, 13-6. 5:47 left in the third. Charles Barkley joining us here in the booth. Susie Michelle down on the field. Mike Jaws and Tony with you here on Monday number 2 of the season. So Monte Rager is there to get it on the bounce, and Rager takes it. The defensive lineman hauling it in at the 37-yard line. So good field position for McNabb and the Eagles right after this.
It's the GMC Summer Sell-Down on a great selection of 07 models. Now, get 0% APR financing for 60 months on any all-new 07 Sierra 1500 Crew Cab. That's 5 years of interest-free financing for an average finance savings of over $6,500. It's time to break through to professional grade at the GMC Summer Sell-Down. See the pros at your local GMC dealers.
Dirty. I'm not going to go into a hotel and give a hooker a check.
Sexy. Money. $5 million.
No further questions.
Dirty, sexy money. Premieres Wednesday, September 26th. Part of Premiere Week on ABC. Start here.
You know the guy on your left, the man on your right is Kevin Cobb, and Susie referred to Cobb when they came out of the locker room. He was the first draft pick for the Eagles this year. In the second round, number 36 overall, a 4-year starter at Houston, where he put up great numbers as the best offensive player in Conference USA last year. But his draft day selection sent a signal that Philly's looking toward a new quarterback in the future. The quarterback in the present can't find anybody to hang on. Hot shot through the hands of Reggie Brown, incomplete. Hey, Jaws, you were here when this was your city as the quarterback and your team, and they drafted the next guy, and Randall Cunningham.
Oh, yeah, Mike, I thought I was the man. All of a sudden, lo and behold, 1985, the Eagles draft Randall Cunningham. I quickly realized my leash got shorter, and my football mentality as a quarterback in Philadelphia was getting near the end.
Were you stunned when they did it?
Yes, I was shocked.
Angry?
No, I wasn't angry, but I was really surprised. I thought we had a good backup in Joe Pisarcik at the time, and I thought we were solid in position, but obviously management felt different. I really felt the pressure that it was only a matter of time. The leash got shorter, and every mistake I made was magnified.
McNabb is running. There's not a person open, and Donovan on that surgically repaired knee hobbles for the first down, and the fans react at the 47-yard line. First down of this third quarter for Philadelphia.
They cheered him. What did he tell us the other day? And I quote, if I get out of the pocket and run, maybe I'll get a standing ovation.
Well, he got a cheer, and he does a nice job. This is like the old, healthy Donovan McNabb. And, did you notice
when he got to that
sideline? You saw the limp when he got to the sideline.
Which I said hobble.
Please, this guy is not 100% healthy, and it's going to be at least another year before he's 100% healthy. But no free pass in this town.
As if Eagle fans aren't having a tough enough night watching. You saw the Phillies score go by. It's 12-11. They've blown an 11-0 lead tonight. Westbrook.
I was actually joking before I came up here when it was like 11-3
in the Phillies game.
I said they better not put that bullpen in, and I was actually joking in the back with some of the media guys.
Let's get to you for a second. Anybody ever drafted where you said, "Woo, they're coming at me. This is the guy who's going to take my place," and if so, how'd you feel about it?
No, but once they drafted Kevin, the writing was on the wall, because one thing you can't do, especially at the quarterback position, you can't play under pressure. And what I mean by that is, like, you can't aim your throws.
Look over your shoulder.
You can't look over your shoulders. Once they do that, they add pressure to you.
I'll get back to that in a second.
McNabb, play pass, looking for somebody open. They're sitting in a vacant spot of the zone. Was Hank Baskett.
Let me go back to this. Okay, McNabb is 30 years old. In 3 of the last 5 seasons, he was injured so specifically that he could not finish the season. Doesn't an organization have a responsibility to protect itself at that position?
Yes, no question. But I think, number one, they were shocked that people took Cobb so high, first and foremost. But the one thing, the media here is so powerful. They tell the fans what to think. They're like, this is our quarterback of the future. I'm like, we don't live in the future. We live in the present.
After gains of 11, 11, and 13, Westbrook pinballs his way for 5. Andre Carter off the defensive end makes a tackle. Good-looking drive here, late stages, third quarter.
Little spirit in the stands. You can hear that, right, George? You've heard him come back.
And it was an excellent play call by Andy Reid, the 13-yard pass play to Hank Baskett. The Eagles are an outstanding play-action team. 30% of their pass plays are out of play action. They had a comfortable cradle for Donovan to throw, and you saw the accurate throw busting Hank Baskett between the 8 and the 4. Give Donovan time, he can make those throws.
Just need a window of perspective. This is the 7th quarter of the season. I mean, you know, it's not the be-all, end-all, and they should have won the game last week. McNabb.
What does that mean, Mike?
Westbrook. I'll tell you in a second, Chuck. Got around Rocky McIntosh. First down, 15-yard line.
You know what I hate? You know what I hate?
You're going to let me finish it?
No, because one of my favorite people is Bill Parcells. And he says, I hate when people say, we're better than our record. No, you're not. No.
Here's what I said. Did I say that? You're unbelievable.
No, what do you mean? They should have won last week.
If one of 2 guys could have caught a punt last week, they would have won.
If I didn't eat so much, I wouldn't be fat. What the hell does that mean?
I hate you and I love you.
No, I'm just asking you. Like, I love when people say that. Well, we should have won that game. Oh, really? You didn't.
1st and 10 from the 14. Nobody open. Just gets rid of it. Thomas DePay is the fullback out there.
I just wish, living in Philadelphia during the summer, that they treated, first of all, I say Andy Reid does not get the credit he deserves. The Eagles been perennial contenders, basically for the last 5 or 6 years. Have they won the Super Bowl? No. But with Donovan McNabb and Andy Reid, we are consistent winners. We're in the same category with the Colts, with the with the Patriots. Like, we have a legit shot every year, and that goes to Andy and Donovan, and I don't think they get the respect they deserve.
And it would all change if they won a Super Bowl. Just a yard and a half to Westbrook on the left side.
The difference in that is that you're not the same as the Patriots, because the Patriots have won 3 at this point.
And that's the point. In Philadelphia sports, the Eagles, it has now been 47 years, and they're the Flyers. And you go through the pro droughts that you are now looking at 24 years since the Sixers.
It's not that easy. First of all, I know firsthand. It's not that easy to win the championship. It's not that. But let me tell you something. They actually have a legit chance all these years. Most of these teams don't have a chance year in, year out.
Important play here, 3rd and 9. Curtis bottom of the screen. Brown at the top. Westbrook leaking out. Donovan has to go to him. Shy of the first down. The 3 receivers are out there. L.J. Smith, the tight end, Curtis, and Baskett. And Jaws, I didn't see anybody open.
And again, people are going to say, why is he throwing a 3-yard pass when it's 3rd and 8? Well, he had Brian Westbrook singled up against Rocky McIntosh. You get the ball in his hands, you might be able to make a play. Look out there. Nothing open right now. Donovan goes left. He goes right. You maybe had to pay, but he wouldn't have the first down. He checked it down to Westbrook. Good tackle by Rocky McIntosh.
David Akers, who uses Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the offseason to prepare for the season from 26 yards.
He's a kicker, isn't he?
Yes, he is.
What Jiu-Jitsu gonna do?
I wish I could explain, but we have to go to break.
Tony will handle it.
4-point game.
This lush expanse of green does more than beautify our world. Trees help clean the air of carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas. As North America's largest recycler, last year alone, Waste Management recycled enough paper to save over 41 million trees. How's that for thinking green? From everyday collection to environmental protection, think green. Think Waste Management.
4-point game. Washington has had the hair better offense and sustained drives.
Hey, man, listen, I'm going to use this analogy. You talk about the Pana no jiu-jitsu.
The kicker.
If you're, the kicker, same thing, Pana kicker, they're the same. If the toughest guy on your team is the point guard, you're not going to win in the NBA. You need a big guy who can do some damage.
You need to take up Brazilian jiu-jitsu yourself. Everybody, I think, and I think Mike would vouch that everybody needs to take that up.
I have no idea what that is. What's the difference between that and karate?
Mike?
no, sorry. Oh, no shell answer man here, you know? Rock Cartwright from the 4. All
right.
Hits it hard, and Cartwright taken to the 38.
All right, Chuck, you're going to have fun with me. We'll do some email.
Sure.
You can answer these questions.
Oh, boy.
Here we go. Let's flash.
You know, I just got email.
If The Sopranos were to be televised again, you think Eric Mangini would be an honored guest on the program, knowing the guys don't like snitches?
You know, I never really watched The Sopranos, but I almost hurt myself I want to watch the last show. I thought my television went on the fritz. I jumped up real fast, and I pulled a hamstring.
You waited 9 years to watch the last one. If New England is America's team, shouldn't that allow them to spy on other NFL teams under the Patriot Act? You know the Patriot Act.
Hey, I'm not saying anything against my man Bill Belichick.
The Patriot Act affects everybody in the country. You want to be a governor, you better know the Patriot Act.
Well, that's selective prosecution, the Patriot Act.
First down, Campbell to Liddell Betts out of the backfield with a ton of room to run. Betts to the 35-yard line, gain of 28, and that's why you have the two-back system. Fresh legs. Betts with a big game.
Excellent job by Jason Campbell setting us up. You play a game with the defense. You drop back, they think you're going downfield. You set, you reset, you draw the rush, and you dump it out in the flat. Liddell Betts is wide open in the flat with one blocker in front of him. Pete Kendall, he gets the block. Sean Constantine whiffs on the tackle. Liddell Betts keeps running down the field.
We could sure use him at Auburn, Jason Campbell.
You had him. You went undefeated with him. You want to bring him back?
Well, you never know.
The team was 13-0. Won the Sugar Bowl against Virginia Tech as Portis runs to the right side to the 32. Chuck, we'll see you on TNT during the basketball season.
Listen, you guys keep up the great work. Thank y'all for having me. I love watching you guys. Keep having fun.
We've only been on for 4 games.
We'll see you next week in New Orleans then, right? You're in?
Yeah. We play golf on Sunday. You want to join us for a round of golf? I'm
retired from golf. I hate the game.
We love Charles. Charles Barkley with us. Off we go to the fourth quarter from Philadelphia. Redskins by 4.
The FIFA Women's World Cup, Nigeria, USA, Tuesday on ESPN.
Coach, I have a question. I love cold Coors Light.
Well, it's really not a question.
Whoa, Coach, the labels on these cold-activated bottles turn blue when the beer gets cold. How's that work?
Well, you should know that.
When the mountains turn blue, your beer is cold and ready for kickoff.
Coach, do you believe in Bigfoot?
I would have to see some visual evidence at some point.
It's been all Colts today. Peyton's calling an audible.
Hey, you, come here. It's 28-3. If you had an NFL Sunday ticket from DirecTV, you can watch up to 14 games every Sunday. So instead of watching this, you watch my brother Eli play against the Cowboys. Oh, I gotta run. Actually, I think I'll pass.
Pump fake. Touchdown!
Join now and get 4 months free of our best TV package when you buy NFL Sunday Ticket, only on DirecTV.
You'll love this. Watch. The mirrors make bigger, better.
Well, it's fast, sharp, it's big, but they got rules. It's amazing.
It's the mirrors.
DLP HD TV. Millions of tiny mirrors make the biggest pictures better.
Save big with 2-year no-interest financing at Best Buy on DLP HD TVs.
Washington Redskins 1 quarter away from joining New England, Pittsburgh, Houston, Indianapolis. Denver, Dallas, Detroit, Green Bay, and San Francisco. 9 other teams that have opened 2-0 in this NFL season.
You know, the great line by our colleague Steve Hurd of Elias. He looked at the standings. He said the Packers are 2-0, 49ers are 2-0, Cowboys are 2-0, and OJ's in jail. We're back to the mid-90s.
Oh, boy.
And with that, the fourth quarter begins. Redskins driving, second down from the 32-yard line. Betts, good penetration to get the initial stop. Omar Gaither, the middle linebacker, who was forced to start the weak side linebacker spot last year, making his 7th NFL start here tonight. And Liddell Betts in the last meeting against the Eagles. Remember, Betts replaced Clinton Portis. We had the hand injury and was lost for the rest of the season. He had a huge game, a career best game. Tonight, not so much. Thanks in large part to Gaither, who's brought him down a couple of times. Omar has 8 tackles for the Eagles this evening. From here, a field goal is about 51 yards, right at the edge of Sweezum's range. Pressure from Sheldon Brown off the corner. They go the other way. Cooley eludes one tackle, goes through the next one, and picks up the first down.
Excellent job by Jason Campbell. Mobility is not running for 20 yards. It's moving in the pocket, avoiding the rush, buying a little time. Watch him drop back. Pressure comes at his right, moves his left, buys a little time, allows Chris Cooley to uncover. Excellent job by Jason Campbell, and a good move by Chris Cooley.
You know, you talked about all these exotic blitzes. He's lost 2 starting linemen, and they haven't gotten to him, and he's played very well.
The Redskins have done a very nice job being prepared for the Eagles' blitzes.
Antoine Randall on the bench with cramps. The mostly invisible Brandon Lloyd is in the game at the top of the screen for the Redskins. And Campbell going that way toward Lloyd. Incomplete as it goes out of the back of the end zone.
You know, I spoke earlier about the one play where Jason Campbell threw the interception. He was a hair late. He stared down the receiver. But if you look at his body of work all day today, he's moving the eyes. He's manipulating the secondary. Looks right, comes back to the middle, and then throws to the right. That'll move linebackers and safeties. Again, look at the eyes. He looks down the middle. Now he comes off the receiver to the right. Really good job. This is a young man, his 8th start in the NFL, starting to get it.
Second and 10. Quick hitter with Portis. Nothing. Gaither doing a good job tonight. Pressure with Mike Patterson to start that play off. And we'll have third down coming up.
Mike, if your middle linebacker is making plays in the running game, you thank the defensive tackles. Broderick Bunkley, Mike Patterson, Monte Red, an outstanding job. They are holding up the offensive line of the Redskins on those double teams, allowing the linebacker, particularly middle linebacker, to run.
I've mentioned Brandon Lloyd being mostly invisible. Norris didn't play at all against Miami. Big free agent money, 23 catches last year. He's been a free agent bust to this point. Campbell, scramble. Throws on the run. Great sense to Todd Yoder. The second tight end takes it to the 6. First and goal, Redskins. Yoder only had 1 catch all of last year.
Once again, Jason Campbell extending the play.
And Brian Dawkins shaken up on the play.
Not good for the Eagles. You'll see right here, you'll see the pressure come from Javon Curse. Jason Campbell rolls out. This extending a play, allow your receivers to uncover. Todd Yoder does a terrific job of seeing his quarterback in trouble and finds the opening.
Yoder has only had 1 catch in the last 2 years. He was on injured reserve with Jacksonville last year. Hits Dawkins, who's shaken up. Timeout.
Fast is violent. Fast is gritty. Fast is explosive. This is the new Fast, the 438 horsepower hybrid, the LS 600H. This is the pursuit of perfection.
Phil? Phil?
Innovation Man.
What's going on? Innovation Workshop.
And your job is?
Kick off the innovation agenda. Fire up the troops for innovation.
Hence the I.
I for ideation. I for incubation. I for invigoration.
I for implementation.
Oh, I knew I forgot something.
You're no rich prince.
Sorry. Rich Prince rewards begin at 2 kisses. To qualify, eligible. Additionally, the magic spell reserves the right to lock out the primary kiss giver from any and all. Kisses expire 6 seconds from date of pucker. All kisses are non-transferable.
Is this how your cash rewards card treats you? Introducing no-hassle cash rewards. Earn cash on every purchase everywhere, plus a 25% annual bonus.
Yeah, okay.
But you're just 1 kiss away. What's in your wallet?
With the all-new NFL.com's in-depth player coverage and exclusive video highlights, you'll know your favorite players better than ever.
Did you see that?
At the all-new NFL.com.
ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Lexus and their pursuit of perfection. IBM, what makes you special. Capital One's new no-hassle cash rewards. What's in your wallet? And the new NFL.com. Visit the Game Center after tonight's game for video highlights, photos, and more.
Some of the images of this Monday night, September 17, 07 here in Philadelphia. Brian Dawkins did get up, walked off with the assistance of 2 trainers directly to the locker room. First and goal, Redskins at the 6. Portis left side, got a block, ran through a tackle, ran to the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Backbreaker.
An incredible burst by Clinton Portis. Real patience to the hole, and you see the speed and quickness through the hole.
And through Trent Cole's arms.
This is beautiful right here. Once again, Sellers with the block, an outstanding lead blocker.
This would be an enormous win for Washington. I mean, they get drilled in Philadelphia. They've lost 9 of the last 11 games to Philadelphia, and 2 of the last 3 years up here by more than 25 points. To go on the road, beat a division team, huge win for Washington. It really would be.
12 minutes and 2 seconds to go, Tony.
Louisa adds the extra point, 8 plays, 63 yards, and a couple of big third down conversions by Jason Campbell. Portis makes it pay. Washington by 11.
After the game on SportsCenter, Steve Young and Emmett Smith dissect this NFC East grudge match. Bill Parcells and Keyshawn Johnson on why the Saints have sunk to 0-2 and 2-0, but are Brett Favre's Packers for real? SportsCenter is next.
2 explosive light heavyweight strikers go to war to get back on the path to a world title shot. Former champion Chuck the Iceman Liddell takes on the Dean of Mean, Keith Jardine, in a clash both expect to win by knockout. Also, the UFC debut of Pride superstar Mauricio Shogun Hua as he battles Forrest Griffin. And winner of 13 straight fights, John Fitch, takes on Diego Nightmare Sanchez. The Ultimate Fighting Championship presents UFC 76 Knockout, live Saturday, September 22nd from Honda Center in Anaheim, California on DirecTV pay-per-view.
Ride shotgun with top NASCAR drivers with NASCAR Hot Pass.
The inside, behind the scenes opportunity week in and week out.
Race to race, watch 5 dedicated driver channels. Cameras from every angle. Live team audio between crew chief and driver.
Yeah, just go up another half.
You just can't get this coverage anywhere else.
This is the next generation of getting closer to the action.
Get the Chase from the Cup offer only on NASCAR Hot Pass. Just $19.99, exclusively from DirecTV.
NASCAR Hot Pass. Best seat in the house.
Now.
20-9, the Redskins trying to go to 2-0. I mentioned all those 2-0 teams. We also have 9 teams at 0-2 in Philadelphia trying to avoid becoming the 10th. Campbell very good on that drive. Buckhalter. Now kickoff return man. Takes it from the 7. to the 34-yard line. Kerry Campbell part of the tackle. What's been the problem tonight for Donovan?
Wide receivers got to win and win quick. When the quarterback, number 5, Donovan McNabb, takes a 3-step drop, look at this. 0 separation. No window to throw the football into. Counts when you get a sack. It was the Packers last week. 92% press, bump, and run on at least one wide receiver. We're seeing a high percentage press, bump, and run by the Washington Redskins tonight. And the Eagles wide receivers are not winning.
And that's atypical for the Redskins defensively going back to last year.
Exactly. I went back and reviewed the 2 games a year ago. Very low percentage press, bump, and run. A lot of zone.
Philadelphia not in a full throw mode. Needing to score twice. Jason Avant hangs on. Had a key drop, turned into a fumble earlier, but was reviewed and overturned.
This is not a problem this year for the Eagles. This has been going on since they're a very good team. They have been led in pass receiving by guys who are not going to Canton. Why wouldn't the GM and the coach spend more time in acquiring wide receivers? The one that was really great, Terrell Owens, didn't work out, but why have they not gotten more of them?
They acquired Kevin Curtis in the offseason as a free agent. A number of teams thought he was going to be a special player. He is a very good player making the catch right here.
To the 42-yard line, Demetri Devins pulls him down.
But he doesn't scare anybody.
Tony, here's what you're talking about.
How many of them are going to camp? Maybe Owens, but he's not taking McNabb with him, I guarantee you that. Look at that, Jaws.
I don't think any of them are going.
Why not?
That's not exactly the passenger manifest of the flight from Philadelphia to Houston in February. Not a lot of Pro Bowlers there to Honolulu. Curtis on the run, incomplete. Philadelphia to Honolulu would be Pro Bowl flights, and there are not a lot of Pro Bowl guys going there.
So is that a failure on the management of the Eagles? When you get a guy as talented as McNabb, you got a wonderful defense for years and years and years. You're close to winning, and you don't win. Is it the wide receivers?
Well, again, just by evidence of that route there, Carlos Rogers, press, bump, and run on Kevin Curtis. Not a good job by Curtis of getting open. There's a very small area for Donovan to throw the football. And it is incumbent on management to give you the bet. If you got a great quarterback, which most people think Donovan is, try to surround him with at least get him a great wide receiver.
Second down for McNabb. Nobody open, no time to throw. A sack. Back on the other side of midfield, the third Washington sack. Cornelius Griffin and LaRon Landry meet at the quarterback. 3rd and long coming up.
Redskins defensive coordinator Greg Williams has done a terrific job staying with the press. You see it right here. If you look at the wide receivers, you see the man-to-man coverage. Nowhere to throw the football. Donovan's waiting for someone to get open. It's not happening. Here you finally get a corner off, but there's nothing there.
Hank Baskett
Check
down
it
here.
out. No, where are you going to throw the football? Tony, you tell me. You be the quarterback.
No, thank you. I would have been sacked.
Yeah.
3rd and 18. Westbrook, a little crossing route to get him some space. 2 yards shy in the first down. From here, it's a 55-yard field goal. You need to score twice, a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and a field goal.
You absolutely
have to go for it here?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
The Redskins trying to nurse an 11-point lead was not easy last year. Redskins lost 3 games last year in which they held a lead of at least 11. Titans week 6, Falcons week 13, Rams week 16. You get a timeout here. And Washington trying to erase last year's history of being up by 11 and not closing the deal.
We need help. Can anyone hear us, please?
It really is the end of the world.
I'm gonna put an end to this.
Resident Evil Extinction. Rated R. Opens everywhere Friday. Introducing the revolutionary Kuro. ability to recognize and react to a threat. This is pre-collision intelligence. This is the pursuit of perfection.
The weekday fix for football fans.
You've got to catch that football and take some pressure off your quarterback.
NFL analysis from the best in the business.
The best receiver in football, period.
All season, all year. NFL Live, Mondays at 3:30, Tuesday through Friday at 4 on ESPN.
Well, it's not what you want to see if you're an Eagle fan out of that commercial. 4th and 4, and Brian Westbrook over on the bench getting looked at the table behind the bench. Although he is getting up, he's not on the field. Terrell Buckhalter's the back for this 4th down conversion attempt.
Donovan reading the potential blitz from the Redskins, checking the play.
Sean Taylor
check out of it.
Yep. Change their defense. McNabb throws. It is caught for the first down by Jason Avant to the 23-yard line. So the drive stays alive, and Westbrook comes back on the field.
Donovan McNabb with the fastball to Jason Avant went right through the hands of Carlos Rogers, falling back to the inside. This one's got some heat on it right there. Carlos Rogers could not make the play. Jason Avant holds on. First down, Philadelphia.
So that big gun of McNabb's keeps this drive alive. Dump over the top. Westbrook back into the sideline. Gain of about 7. Clock stops. Still plenty of time with 9:16 and a couple of timeouts remaining. Lots of Eagles have caught balls from McNabb here tonight.
And Tony, this is one of the reasons why the Eagles really do not like to have a go-to style receiver. They like to move the football around. This is an inside-out passing game. It normally starts with the tight end and Brian Westbrook.
Never hurts to have one great receiver.
I'm not disputing that. I had a guy, Harold Carmichael, probably should get Hall of Fame recognition. Always helps to have a guy like that.
Try to mix in a run. LaRon Landry out of LSU. They took a number 6 pick in the draft, 6th overall selection to take Landry. Sean Taylor in the draft from 04. The other safety was a number 5 overall pick. Carlos Rogers, their first-round pick in 05, was a 9th overall pick. So in the last 4 years, they've used a top 10 pick on a defensive back. And add Sean Springs, who came over some 3.5 years ago in free agency from Seattle. He's a former first-round pick, number 3 overall. So all top 10 picks in that starting secondary. Before 3rd down, the sideline for the Redskins calls this timeout.
The Eagles came out with a tight formation, and the Redskins weren't ready for it.
So Philadelphia will face 3rd and a couple. And while we have a second, let's check the injuries. We saw Brian Dawkins a moment ago. Susie?
Yeah, well, the Eagles secondary has been taking a beating. The perennial Pro Bowler, free safety Brian Dawkins shaken up. We saw that he was slow to get up after this hit. Stayed on the ground for quite a while. Finally got up to his knees, but appeared woozy. He started walking the opposite way when the trainers wanted to take him to the locker room. Finally, they guided him in. The Eagles say it's a neck injury, and his return is unknown. And earlier tonight, we saw strong safety Sean Considine get banged up, and they are also without their Pro Bowl cornerback, Lito Shepard, who has a sprained knee, and we're not sure when we will see him back on the field.
60 yards across the field to the other sideline. Michelle, it hasn't been good for Washington either.
Yeah, Antoine Randall still in the locker room, Mike, getting an IV treatment for cramps. I saw one of the members of the athletic training staff for the Redskins. He smiled and said, we're pumping those fluids as fast as we can. They'd like him back on the field for the next series, Mike.
Thank you, Michelle. Eagles have not converted their last 6 third down opportunities, but did pick up a 4th down a moment ago. Westbrook got it at the 11, first down.
When you've got a situation on 3rd and 3, you get the ball in Brian Westbrook's hands behind the line of scrimmage, going downhill. He will make a play for you. He has a great instinct of where that first down yardage is.
You know, I covered about 1,000 games between the Redskins and the Eagles. And the classic games, 5 and 6 guys get injured, and they're carded. That happens all the time with these two teams.
And somebody has the ball at the end of the game with a chance to win.
All the time, yes.
The Eagles are smelling like a score here to get in position. In the flat, who else? Westbrook. Met there by Lee Torrance. second-year man out of Stanford. As Washington goes through its secondary depth. So McNabb down here in the red zone where he is very good. How good? Well, since 2003, top completion percentage in the NFL. His passer rating second best in the NFL. And that passer rating, all the numbers factored in. If you're over 100, you're very good. And he's terrific. Why?
Mike, clearly number one, the big strong arm he has. You're throwing the tight windows down here. Number two, the mobility. They like to move Donovan when they get inside the 20.
Tom Brady is the one to tick ahead in passer rating in the red zone. Pass in the dirt and incomplete. Third down coming up.
Pressure from Andre Carter just hit Donovan McNabb as he was releasing the football. Everyone sees the errant throw. You'll see to the left of your screen William Thomas blocking Andre Carter. He comes back underneath just as Donovan's delivering the football. Throws it into the dirt. Really no one open once again. It was more of a throwaway than being hit.
You get a first down at the 1. You're going to need a field goal in some way here if you want to tie the game. So
and a 2-point conversion.
Yep. Get within one possession, so not necessarily 4-down territory. Thomas Chupe bouncing off tackles gets to the 4-yard line. It's 4th and 2.5. And let's see if Andy Reid's even thinking about it. I think you go right for the field goal.
No, I think differently here. I think you kick it.
Yeah, I see you go right for the field goal.
Oh, okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Tony's saying go for it.
No, I mean, I had 4 fingers up to ask you if you would go for it on 4th down. I didn't say to go for it. I'll defer to you on that.
Don't you know?
Fans wanted them to go for it.
Well, they don't know. You got to make it a one-score game, which is what they're going to do right here.
Don't you know 4 fingers up is the universal sign to ask a question?
That's right.
My God.
Are you going?
A lot less of Tony's fingers this season.
From 24, 39, 26. And now 22. Akers has 4 field goals. 1 possession game.
Saturday Night Football on ABC. Washington State, USC, or Iowa, Wisconsin. Saturday at 8 Eastern.
This is Jan's new home. And this is Jan after finding out that DirecTV will be paying her mortgage for a whole year. Why is Jan so lucky? Because she called this number before she moved and was automatically entered into the DirecTV Home Free Sweepstakes. Now she's living mortgage-free for a whole year. Are you thinking about moving? Call prior to your big day and you could be living mortgage or rent-free too. Lucky for you, there's a new winner every month. It's enough to make you jump for joy.
Winning is everything. Suddenly, it's just not true anymore. Not now. What matters is that we keep this program alive. They left this to us. It's on our shoulders. When you take that field, lay their heart alive. If you do that, we cannot be defeated.
We are Marshall. Coming to DirecTV September 18th.
Ride shotgun with top NASCAR drivers with NASCAR Hot Pass.
The inside, behind the scenes opportunity week in and week out.
Race to race, watch 5 dedicated driver channels. Cameras from every angle. Live team audio between crew chief and driver.
Yeah, just go up another half.
You just can't get this coverage anywhere else.
This is the next generation of getting closer to the action.
Get the Chase for the Cup offer only on NASCAR Hot Pass. Just $19.99 exclusively from DirecTV.
NASCAR Hot Pass, the best seat in the house.
Neil Everett, Kenny Mayne standing by for SportsCenter, the GMC Monday Night Football postgame. We'll hear from the players and coaches. Full breakdown of this NFC East match. The hunt for October, 7 of the 8 races still alive. We'll tell you what happened tonight. An alarming OJ audio, the latest on the alleged Las Vegas robbery that has OJ Simpson in jail. SportsCenter after the game. 8-point game. Eagles have 2 timeouts remaining. Rock Hartwright from the 6. The 32-yard line. Here's a SportsCenter 30 at 30 update with Trey Wingo.
All right, Michael, thanks very much. Things not going the Eagles' way, but an unbelievable game between the Phillies and the Cardinals. At one point, they led 11-0, had to rally. 13-11 is the final score. Ryan Howard with 2 home runs. He's got 40 on the year. And Jeff Fisher not going anywhere. Gets a 4-year contract extension to stay with the Tennessee Titans. SportsCenter after the game. And, of course, ESPN News is always on. Michael.
Thank you, Trey. And of course, after SportsCenter, the NFL programming continues tonight. Get a full recap of everything that's happened in this second week of the season.
Some good news for the Philadelphia fans anyway. The Phillies are closing in on the Mets.
Okay, let's see if the Redskins can sustain offense and move the chains. Eagles defense tries to shut them down. Betts to the left. Keeps grinding for about 3 yards. Those of you just tuning in, here's what's happened in this NFC East matchup tonight. Jason Campbell making his 9th start. Over 50% completions. Good poise. A couple of nice passes. 211 yards on the night. Clinton Portis after 98 yards on 17 carries against Miami. Same number of carries, 69 yards. A lot of throws for Donovan McNabb. More completions in the second half, but a very low yards per attempt ratio, which tells you the receivers have not been getting open downfield.
Yeah, Mike, less than 5 yards per attempt. That's abysmal.
2nd and 6. Campbell to the air, going deep. Santana Moss wide open. He overthrew him. So Campbell has a huge arm, and Joe Bugle, along with Al Saunders, gets all the offensive mind thoughts streamed to the team.
Absolutely perfect play call. You got Santana Moss. Just puts a great move on William James. He's wide open by 8 yards, and the big arm of Jason
not possible,
Campbell
is it?
Just too big.
It's not possible. No, he's one of the fastest guys in the league.
Exactly.
It's not possible to overthrow him by 10 yards. Wow.
Oh, what a great play call by Al Saunders. People want to talk about Al Saunders.
That was Bugle on the sideline.
Well, he's the offensive line.
That's the deep shot. That's the game clincher, and they miss it.
Swing out. Betts brings it in. Chase down. Brought down. Remember, no Brian Dawkins out there. Quentin Michael out of Boise State makes the play, and the Eagle defense comes up with the 3 and out they needed.
We talked about this in the break, about how that was a key drive for the Redskins. The old Redskins would have run it, and gone down the field for 4 or 5 minutes. Couldn't do it this time. Well, that could have iced the game.
Tony, you throw the football to score. They've done that. You run the football to win. They didn't do that.
They needed Riggins out there.
Maybe they needed Riggins, but they had the shot. Campbell missed it.
Derek Frost kicking. Kick is 46 and fair caught by Reno Mahe at the 20-yard line.
All right, if the Redskins were to win this game, it would be enormous to go on the road in the division and beat Philly, obviously, which they haven't done lately. Joe Gibbs is the centerpiece in Washington. How long will he stay? This is his 4th year out of a 5-year contract. We asked him about this. He said, quote, "I have every intention of doing what I set out to do." That's a line he uses all the time. In fact, the media gave him the line. He said, "They asked me this so much, I said to them, tell me what you want me to say." But the deal with Gibbs is so revered in Washington, even with a losing record in his 2nd term in Washington. He represents stability. He represents glory. He is considered a fine, fine man and a wonderful coach. And the Redskins fans feel, if he stays, it's great. But every year, the question is asked, because he's got another business, right? And how long is he going to coach football?
NASCAR business, Joe Gibbs racing. From the 20, McNabb stepping up. Shoveling it out. Pass completed to Toupee. Thomas gains 9 yards. Anthony Montgomery bringing him down.
To stay with Gibbs for a second, it's the rare circumstance where a guy's actually in the Hall of Fame and then back as an active coach. And we asked him about the fact that this time around hasn't been so good. And I said, you know, you're in the Hall of Fame. He goes, yeah, I think they're trying to melt that down and get it out of there. He's very self-deprecating about that.
2nd and 1 run. First down, Westbrook to the 34-yard line. London Fletcher in on the tackle. We mentioned this earlier. The Redskins blew 3 11-point leads last year. First time in the 75-year history of the franchise, the Redskins lost 3 games that they led by 10 or more points. McNabb looking more elusive as the night goes on. Jason Avant, first down, 49-yard line in Washington territory with 3:46 to go.
And Donovan is an excellent quarterback out of the pocket. He's feeling the pressure from the backside, moves out of the pocket, and on the move, he can throw strikes. You'll see it right here. You be the quarterback, Tony. Drop back. Pressure from the backside. He moves out, and there's another laser by Donovan McNabb, moving the chains to Jason Avant.
Since Barkley left the booth and he said Donovan was not going to be here anymore, Donovan hasn't missed a pass.
Blame it on Charles. He gets blamed for everything.
Why not?
He said it. The Redskins staying in their prevent.
And the pass to Westbrook gets to the 42. They have plenty of time to move it down the field. William Thomas, the left tackle, is out with back spasms. Winston Justice, the second-round pick who won a national championship at USC, 74. He's in at left tackle, and there's a money drive for the Eagles with 3:22 to go.
Yeah, Donovan's being very patient. He's taking what the defense gives him. They've been playing a lot of zone. Right now, looks like they're going to come with a little pressure. 3 down linemen, now they're bailing.
And McNabb throwing the deep ball. Nobody's open, and very lucky to have that fall incomplete. Greg Lewis, the intended receiver. LaRon Landry, the first-round pick at LSU this year, back covering.
Yeah, not a good choice and decision by Donovan McNabb. The Redskins clearly had 3, maybe even 4 defenders in that area. Donovan was going to take his chance right here. Here you'll see him, the fake blitz. LaRon Landry turning and running. He's in good position to make the interception. As you see, 3 Redskin defenders around Greg Lewis. No window to throw that ball into. Landry almost making the interception.
Mostly a passing night. This is 4-down territory now. They're at the 41-yard line, needing a couple, and they're going to need a few more.
Very strange play call there.
Jaws, I'm holding up 4 fingers, the universal symbol.
Show Mike.
First it's a timeout, and now it's a decision at the 44, 4th and 5. By burning that timeout, they have 1 timeout remaining. It kind of puts you at the mercy of your defense, forcing a must stop and going.
You have to go for it. You have to go for it. Right now, the clock is still not your enemy. It's still your ally. You only have 44 yards to go. 2:58 to go.
A reminder, next Monday night, we go back down to New Orleans 1 year after the Dome reopened. And Reggie Bush, Drew Brees and company return trying to find the magic that was with New Orleans last year. They're 0-2. They've been outscored 72-24. Vince Young in Tennessee. They run. Keith Bullock plays some good defense for the Titans. Now look at the pass rush they got on Peyton Manning in the big spots yesterday. Should be a good one. New Orleans needs it. Tennessee is better than you think they are.
And you talk about
Eastern from New Orleans next Monday night.
Talk about a must game, week 3. Wow.
Yeah, New Orleans doesn't just need it. Hey, need it.
Eagles, as we mentioned, trying to avoid becoming the 10th 0-2 team to start this season. Almost have to pick it up here on 4th and 5.
The Redskins come with a total blitz.
McNabb throwing down the middle. It is caught at the 25 by Reggie Brown. The game stays alive on a 19-yard completion.
Excellent job by Reggie Brown. This is literally a jump ball, and he just outleaps Carlos Rogers for the football. The Redskins came with their total blitz. Everyone coming after Donovan McNabb, man-to-man in the secondary.
McNabb complete to the 13-yard line. Sean Taylor with the big hit.
Jaws, he looks like a different guy.
Finding his rhythm, been out a long time, was hurt.
See if they squeeze one in here before the 2-minute warning. From the 13. Skins bring pressure. McNabb hit as he throws, incomplete pass. It was coming out as Sean Taylor was coming in for the big shot. Well, for the second straight Monday night, we hit the 2-minute warning with the game on the line. The team that's down is in the red zone. We'll see if Philly can get in and maybe get it tied.
With Verizon Wireless, Brett Hardy can send text, pics, and video messages unlimitedly. And during prom season, that's exactly what he did, sending proposals, photos, and proof of dance skills to everyone in the Tri-County area. Now Brett has options. but not nearly enough corsages. Because with the Verizon Wireless Premium plan, unlimited messaging, navigating, access to videos, and more are all included. Sign up today and buy the sleeker Razr 2. Verizon Wireless. It's the network.
This season, one man will preserve the liquid sanctity of game day. The commissioner of the More Taste League presides over a thirsty nation. With shapely officiators and a little tough beer love, this commish will be enforcing the standards of a one-beer league. Great taste, 96 calories, 3.2 grams of carbs. These are the yin and the yang, the oi and the vey,
the bada and the bing,
the chimmy and the chonga of True Light beer.
The commish is wise.
Bingo! Miller Lite, the official beer of the More Taste League.
Fast is violent. Fast is gritty. Fast is explosive. This is the new Fast, the 438 horsepower hybrid, the LS 600H. This is the pursuit of perfection.
In the NFL, the biggest games are decided by the smallest details. That's why Samsung imagined an LCD HD TV with 120 hertz, a true black screen, and twice the frames per second for exceptional motion clarity.
We got it. Challenge it.
So you won't have to wait for further review to start the celebration. The decision is clear. Samsung, the official HD TV of the NFL.
After the game on SportsCenter, Steve Young and Emmitt Smith dissect this NFC East grudge match. Bill Parcells and Keyshawn Johnson on why the Saints have sunk to 0-2 and 2-0, but are Brett Favre's Packers for real? SportsCenter is next.
Inside of 2 minutes, inside the 15-yard line. Donovan McNabb has had a big fourth quarter. It has been a virtually pass-only period for the Eagles. They have gotten within striking distance, needing a touchdown and a two-point conversion to tie the game. Westbrook and Reggie Brown go to the top. Matt Schobel, the tight end, closest. Avant and Curtis to the near side in this empty backfield set. McNabb throws to Kevin Curtis. Good job to change direction, but better job by Carlos Rogers to bring him down. Shy of the first down as the clock turns.
Excellent job by the Redskins defense of rallying to Kevin Curtis to make the tackle. The Eagles spreading the field, empty backfield, 5 wide receiver look, trying to create a seam in that Redskins secondary.
It's 3rd down, 4 down territory.
Absolutely.
So that factors in your play calling here.
Absolutely, Mike. You do not have to go to the end zone.
You need 6 in the next 2 plays. Taking their time as we're down to 80 seconds left.
You're going to get a Redskin blitz here. Corners lined up to the inside. Pretty good indicator. Here they come.
McNabb for Curtis. Could not get it to him and had an opening, but as you see, McNabb sent to the turf. London Fletcher reaching in.
Donovan read the coverage perfectly. Had Kevin Curtis wide open. Ball out of his hand. Had the corner lined up to the inside. You've got to hit this throw.
And for the second time in this drive, the game on the line, 4th down, and Philadelphia will use its final timeout.
Yeah, Donovan shaking his head. That's one. Boy, he's thinking, how did I miss that one?
I was thinking if they get in, they have to go for 2 points.
Oh, overtime!
Thinking ahead, I was thinking maybe it's a Boise State play.
You got to see it right here.
Or something.
Donovan's got him. He knows he got Kevin Curtis singled up.
Is he hit? Is he hit as he lets it go?
Yeah, he was hit, but the ball was out of his hand. You know, you got to find a way to get the ball. I mean, Kevin Curtis won easily right there. Donovan read the blitz. It was pretty obvious. Corners lined up inside the line of scrimmage stacked. You know, you got that 1-on-1 on the outside.
Of course, you have Brian Westbrook in this situation as a player who, you know, Philadelphia thinks of getting the ball to him in a big spot, but you also know that Washington has every set of eyes keeping an eye on him. This has been a hair better than our friends in South Bend.
The Eagles do a great job with 2 particular plays down here. The shovel pass to Brian Westbrook and the screen back to Brian Westbrook. So I agree, Mike. I think the Redskins are going to be keying on Brian Westbrook.
And Westbrook is to McNabb's right. Curtis at the top. Jason Avant, Reggie Brown at the bottom. First down awaits at the 3. And the game rides on this snap. McNabb throws. It is caught but dropped by Curtis. The big hit by LaRon Landry. And the number 6 overall pick of the pass draft, the safety, probably saves the game for the Redskins.
Safeties in the National Football League have become playmakers. That's why the Washington Redskins drafted LaRon Landry. You'll see Curtis come to the inside. Look at Landry drive at the first down marker, separates Kevin Curtis from the football. Donovan puts it on the numbers. Oh, what a wallop by LaRon Landry.
Sean Taylor's back there. You talk about Troy Polamalu and Ed Reed.
Bob Sanders,
of course, and Joe Gibbs. A big hug for Carlos Rogers with Philadelphia out of timeouts. It'll be take a couple of knees, and Andy Reid will fall to 0-2 for the 3rd time in his tenure here in Philly. They did in '99, they did in 2003. And Philadelphia, with its secondary banged up, has Detroit coming in here on Sunday.
They fall to 0-2 and lose to 2 teams which were not over 500 last year. That's a bad sign.
And you got, as Mike just said, the Detroit Lions coming here. They love that 4 wide receiver set.
You see, it's bizarre. Andy Reid combined 7 and 11, but his teams always seem to get stronger after week 2. They'll have some work to do.
So maybe it isn't so bad. Historically.
Doesn't feel good, though. Meantime, the Redskins will go home at 2-0. They play the Giants, who are reeling at 0-2, and then have a bye. So it's a...
Redskins could be looking at a good season.
Washington and Dallas at the top. The Giants and the Eagles, 2 of the 10 0-2 teams in the National Football League, as we bring the curtain down on week 2 of the season.
Should I talk about the burgundy and gold tie that you pointed out earlier?
No,
okay.
no, you're not talking about it. Go paint your face now.
They were a very bad team last year. They are much better defensively, as you saw, and offensively they still don't score a lot of points. But maybe as Campbell improves from week to week, maybe they will, because they've got wonderful receivers and good running backs.
GMC Monday Night Football post-game report, the baseball update, the latest on OJ, all coming up on SportsCenter. Jason Campbell has won his first 2 starts of the 2007 season. Donovan McNabb unable to get it done for the Eagles, who fall to 0-2. Our final here in Philadelphia, Washington 20, Philadelphia 15. With Tony Kornheiser, Ron Jaworski, Michelle Tafoya, Susie Kalber, our entire Monday Night Football crew. Mike Tirico. Good night from Philadelphia. Titans Saints next week. See you from Louisiana.
See you in New Orleans.
ESPN thanks you for watching this presentation of the National Football League.
Deep to right center toward the wall, and it's out of here!
This is SportsCenter.
The Redskins keep the Eagles from soaring. Emmitt Smith, Steve Young on why this Philadelphia story had an unhappy ending. The Saints marching in the wrong direction, how they best turn it around in a hurry. And Brett Favre in no hurry to retire. But is the pack for real? Unreal games in baseball with 7 of the 8 races very much alive. Gaps closing, extras, a walk-off, and an unbelievable comeback. Plus, if the voice fits, you must. Alarming audio involving O.J. Simpson. Hear it on SportsCenter right now.
Way back, and it is gone to Souvenir City. Casey Blake with his second walk-off game-winning homer of the homestand.
And welcome, sports fans. It's another double-wide 90-minute edition of SportsCenter. Hope you enjoyed the tackle football game, but if you somehow missed it, then what happens then, Neil?
Well, we're going to use Stu's notes. It's like Cliff's notes, only with pictures and sound. Read it and weep if you're an Eagles fan. Stuart?
Welcome back to Philadelphia for the GMC Monday Night Football postgame. The city of brotherly love, the sight, the sounds, and it was not a good night for the fans who even booed Santa Claus. What's up, Stuart Scott, along with the MVPs, Steve Young, Emmitt Smith, and 6-time champions combined. Guys, we all picked the Eagles to win this game. In one word, what did you think about the Redskins' performance?
I can't think of the word. Efficient.
Poised. Poised and efficient. Hey, back in 1934, it was the Boston Redskins against the Philadelphia Eagles. 73 years and 145 meetings later, here they go again. From the place they call the Link, Donovan McNabb. Late second quarter, Redskins down 6-3. Jason Campbell, the opposing QB, scrambles away from the pressure and breaks outside for a 20-yard gain. But what about the block by Santana Moss, Steve, on the outside?
The kind of thing